What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. In this episode, my client and I are going to discuss relationships and business.
And I feel a lot of my energy is going to make you feel like trying to make you feel better, and now you're codependent on me,
right?
And that can't happen. That's why I say it kind of sounds like it's a you problem. Like, you need to figure out, sit in this, and is this shit really gonna matter in an hour? No, you're letting your emotions control you, and it would just frustrate me. We would get in little arguments, and she would want to talk, and I'm like, I don't know how to express myself right now. Right now, I really think this is dumb. To me, if you really be honest, and we're talking on a level of relationship, and I'm not attacking you, and you're not attacking me, and we're just getting stuff off our chest, I think this is dumb. We could have been having a good time and cuddling, or talking about business, or talking about something you want to talk about, but not me making you trying to stop to cry, or why are you crying, and you know what I'm saying? Trying to get to the root of that every single time.
Yeah, I can actually share you a time at one point where I was that same position, you know what I mean, going through the same situation, which is because like I said, me growing up, especially just the only female in my house was my mom, you know what I'm saying? So everything was just all guy shit.
Yeah.
It was just shut the fuck up, be tough. What are you doing crying, man? Only pussies cry, you know?
Yeah.
So same thing. At one point I had to go through the same thing that you were going through. And it sucks, man. But you're right too, because it's always an us problem, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, everything is a choice, right? And nobody makes you happy. Yourself makes you happy. You have to be the one that chooses to generally be happy and feel happy, you know what I mean? But unfortunately though, it's so when you're in a relationship, everything you just said is what I used to say too, but you're supposed to be a team player regardless of if you even know if her emotions or stuff like that are leading to inaccurate conversations and stuff like that. But yeah, it sucks because it sounds like there's different levels. You're at a certain level where you're I'm focused, I'm grinding, this and that.
Yeah. And
then you got her where it's hey, I need companionship and hear me out, So yeah, I went through that same phase of trying to align those two, you know what I mean? And eventually we did, because it just comes with the growth. Because at that point, you're building the relationship, you know what I mean? When you're working those things out. But I realized that what helped me out of that situation is I actually had to realize that me saying the same thing that you were, I was making it about me. You get what I'm saying? So it's you want a relationship, but then you don't want to donate the time that it takes to keep and build a relationship because of your grind, your hustle, you're focused, you know what I mean? And that's okay. But then, when you're in a relationship, it's 50-50. So now you're donating 50% to your business, 50% to your wife, you know what I mean? And that's the problem right there, is that you're donating your energy to too many different resources, like you said, paying bills, you know what I mean? Business, being accurate. I'm sure you do a lot of research as far as you know what I mean? And then that's, taking energy. Now you have a pup, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's taking energy. And then what's left is 20% towards your girlfriend or your relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, bro, when you're in a relationship, it's prioritizing, unfortunately, it can postpone some of the momentum you have going towards your business, because now it's not just about you and your business. It's about you and your partner.
Yeah.
And then your business, you know what I mean? So, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
But that's why it didn't work out, because you were donating more energy towards your business and your career and your craft and all that stuff, which is perfectly fine, because that's what you want and that's what's truly going to make you happy, you know what I'm saying? So if you were to continue with that relationship, you'd just be battling that whole cycle, you know what I'm saying, of
I mean,
because now
I love what you're saying too, because we've been broken up for 4 months now, and I've been thinking. You sit there and think, where did I go wrong? What could I have done better? And I'm not the type of person that just point the finger. I know I could have done better in different things. I wish I would have been more in the moment, to where I could have just went and grabbed her, shook her, and be like, "Yo, it is okay." That is you're I'm not fucking. You're not thinking right. And look, here's a kiss. Give me a hug and just relax. But when you're kind of in an argument.
The emotions,
and I'm not I don't think I do let emotions get to me, when it comes to sports and stuff like that, and I take a lot of things to heart. But when we're in an argument, I never raised my voice to her, I never yelled at her, I never told her to shut the hell up. It was always me and my mom growing up, and I would never allow somebody to talk to my mom like that, and I've never done that to my mom. I think I told my mom when I was young, like, shut up one time. I had braces and she slapped the shit out of me. I didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, I was in
the passenger seat, and the next thing I saw was, I think I was like this, and I was like, shut up, and I looked like this, and all I saw was this. The back of her wrinkly hands, freaking wha-bam! Lip got stuck in my braces and everything. But so I would never talk to a woman like that, right? And I would just stay quiet and just really think, like, I don't really want to respond or say anything because it's going to be out of anger, and I'm just going to make it worse. So I just kind of listen, let myself think about it, and then we come back to the conversation later. And she was really like pushing, wanting me to like converse right then and there.
Yeah, because, see, like I said, like, you did a good thing, because speaking when your emotions are pretty fresh and are actually controlling you at the moment, you're not going to say what you really want to say.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you were at. However, like I said, that's not what they see.
Yeah. So, and the thing is too, when we broke up, like, if I were to hit up any of my exes right now, I feel like 90% of them would all answer.
Oh yeah,
like,
sure.
I've never, because I am the type of person I am.
Chill guy.
I just because we break up, I don't think it should be like out of anger and we hate each other now. Because at one point we loved each other, and it's like, how do we go from we love each other to now blocking each other, fucking hate you, talk really bad about them,
Right.
It's like, dude, there's a lot of people in this world, and we've talked about it before, and it's not always gonna work out. It's really hard, and it could be timing. It could be someone's up here, someone's going right here. There's a lot of things I can learn about myself. Like, how can somebody really know me when I really don't know myself yet?
Yeah, it just wasn't in alignment at the time,
Right. So, and you just keep it real cool, because you never know. 10 years from now, you might run in, and they might mature. They might see things different than you, and connect again.
Right, because the growth never stops. Sometimes we hook up at a premature age, where, like, as far as experience goes. And that's just exactly what happened, and it's okay, you know what I mean. And I'm glad you've been able to, like, break things off at being cool.
That'd be a good tattoo. Growth never stops.
Yeah, it never does. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, right?
But then really again, when we get hit with challenges, though, we act like babies and then we quit.
Yeah. Most people, I feel like I do a pretty good job. I do feel you though, but So with Melissa, we were cool hanging out and like just talking still over the phone. She'd still hit me up. I'd still hit her up, because you go from hanging out and I mean, she lived in Arizona, so we didn't hang out too much, but you go from, I get done with work and lifting and whatever, and it's like a call or a FaceTime. She really liked FaceTime. So you go from talking to somebody and explaining about your day to like nobody now, Yeah, and that's pretty tough. I'm not going to freaking beat around the bush. That's hard for me. Like, I'm used to something happening and hitting her up and like, yo, what's up? You want to know what just happened, or you want to hear something cool, or hey, I had like a perspective change. You want to hear about it? And she's always like, yeah, tell me,
Yeah, there's always adjustments that need to be made after there's uncomfort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's better or whether it's definitive for reality or non-definitive, you still have to go through those adjustments, man. So I get it for sure, yeah.
So we kept that going for a little while.
I can still smell her on my pillow.
Yeah, exactly. So we went to do that for a little bit, and then she hit me up, and she's just like, I feel like I've had a lot of stuff to say to you, and I can't say any of it, and she's like, I'm still like, my heart's still shattered, and I can't really move on. And I was like, damn, it sounds like we got to stop doing what we're doing, because you're not allowing yourself to move on if we're still talking, like,
it's true,
being cool,
Sometimes you do need to just cut it in order for you to like heal your mental, and then after you realize and feel solid again, then you can just have a genuine, just chill friendship relationship.
Yeah. So
until then, though, the emotions are still mixed.
Yeah. So we did that, and I haven't talked to her since we did that, so we haven't had any contact. So it's been, I'm not going to say it's been tough, but I remember her saying a lot of the times, and this is going back to like your friend with his wife, Melissa would tell me, like, I feel like I'm really heartbroken and I'm done, like I'm in bad shape, and like, you're just fine. Like, do you feel anything for me, and blah blah, or like, am I in my own little world? And it's like, no, like I feel a lot of what you feel. The only thing is I feel like I have a little bit more control of my reality and my thinking, to where I'm not sitting here thinking like, why, and I miss her, and that's more like, This is something that happened to me. I'm glad that it happened. I'm learning from it, and I know where to get better. But I can't sit here and be in my apartment already by myself, nobody to talk to, and then just be like having all these negative, sad thoughts. Because then I'm gonna stay down there. Like I need to vibrate high in order to attract what I want to attract. And I really did feel shitty for a month, you know, of mowing and working and doing all this stuff and a lot of thinking, and I would let a lot of negative thoughts creep in, but I'm really quick to not entertain them and just like, hey, like that's not true, you know, like you just learn, you learn something. It's not that you're a bad person or that you're insensitive. It's that you need to, now you know that you need to be a little bit more aware and take time to think and be a little bit more sensitive towards others when they're trying to talk to you and stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's true. And then, you know what, man? People are always going through shit. So, like, no matter what, you know what I mean? Whether you just went through a fresh breakup or you're just plowing through life, because you and I know we're at the age where, you know, life, bro, shit. If you're not, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not fully, like, mentally prepared for some of the things that happen to you in life, then yeah, man, that shit can bring you down, you know, so.
It can bring you down and keep you down.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's kind of ignorant for people to say, like, you're not feeling anything, because people just handle trauma in all sorts of different ways, you know?
Yeah.
Some people run to art. Some people listen to music. Some people will go to the gym and blast themselves at the gym, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, some people just really have different ways of coping with it. And, you know, masculine energy, too, it just goes back to what I said, is, like, we weren't taught to express ourselves in an emotional way, you know what I'm saying? Which is unfortunate, right? But so those are some of the challenges where you're going through, so that you can be tuned in with that feminine energy, bro, and so you can start, you know, putting down that guard and just like allowing, you know, your emotions, the accurate ones, the love, right?
Yeah.
To feel for somebody when they do want to, or when they do want to hear your opinion, or, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool though, man, because it's everything you're going through. It's all necessary. It's like you said, you need to be more tuned in with your, you know, your love emotions, and that's exactly why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. And who knows, you know, maybe you guys might hook up, but whatever happens, you're now that much more of a better person, so you get to attract that much more of a better person.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always tell people, man, relationships, you never find them or fall into them. You attract them or you build them. You know what I mean? Two separate people. How can you really be that ignorant to think that you can just slide into each other and fucking be the best, you know, couple there is? Like, no, man, you're getting one person from this environment and this person from that environment,
completely
and then you're just
different,
trying to make it work.
Yeah.
You know? Well, shouldn't be trying to, right? It should just be flowing with each other. But, you know, our hormones and our emotions usually block all that. Yeah.
That's what makes us human, huh?
Yeah.
The air part. I don't know. I've really learned, and just kind of listening to like audio, and like you said, I really think that it's a partnership, like a teammate. And I heard a female say this on IG, where being in a relationship is a partnership, and if you look at the best, being in a relationship is like a teammate. And if you look at the best sports, like who are the top athletes in sports, like LeBron James, and like look at his team, and why are they so successful, right? And it's like, well, you have these people, right, which is the relationship, which is the team, and they have like a vision, and then they have a goal, and no matter what happens within the team, their vision and the goal stays the same.
Yeah.
So like all these little things, like, you know, injury or hurt, like I'm talking about on a team, dumb things, that stuff is pushed to the side, because the main goal is to win, or the main goal is to go to the NBA final, whatever.
To be the best, right?
To be the best, right? And I think I really tried doing that with Melissa, but I just wasn't creating the right words to bring to her, to like get her to realize that. And that's where I'm at. I'm like,
you're on the path though, you know.
I want to just like tell her, like, Mel, like, I'm really working hard on my business now, so that way you and I can spend time, if this thing progresses and we get more serious, that we can, like, I can treat you to trips to Hawaii and beautiful places, and because you deserve that and I deserve that, and I want to take us there. But it's just, that's where I'm like heading, and I really want you to jump on board and like help my life be easier and not harder. Like, just flow with me. Like, there's, all I do is work out, go work, and hang out, and I try to be really positive and learn how to capitalize in opportunities in life.
Yeah,
you know, and
you know, it's funny though what you'll learn, like even when you do get into a relationship like that, that like everything you mentioned about like, you know, chilling, having fun and vacations and all that stuff,
yeah,
bro, to be honest with you, those are just like bonuses. But the true happiness, bro, is being at your lady at home and enjoying each other's company like all day, every day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
dude,
but don't get me wrong, it's really hard to get there.
Dude, I struggle with that, man. I struggle. I remember we were hanging out, and one night she was like putting on a face, and I was like, "What's this face you got going on?"
Now you're like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah, well, I just noticed. I was like, I feel like you're just going through this day. Like I feel like I built a really nice day today. We had a really good day. We both made some money. We had some dinner. We hung out with friends. Like, you've been laughing all day, but you have this face. Like, what's going on? And she's just like, "Oh, I just really want to hang out with you." And I'm like, "Okay, I need a minute." And I'm like, "What do you mean you want to hang out with me? We've fucking been together all day, like laughing and this and that." And she's like,
interact all day.
She's like, I just want one-on-one time, like with you. Like, I would have traded all that hanging out, doing stuff, and to go get like some food and go and like have a picnic, just me and you. And I'm like, okay. And I couldn't get over that hump of like, I guess I'm not really used to just grabbing a girl and just me and you hanging out all day talking, and like I'm not used to that because I've never been around that. Not even my mom.
I went through that same thing too, and then I had to realize too that like every girl is a princess, man. Like, you know, when they're growing up, they have this whole wedding and life and, you know, adventure planned out. Guys are just like, yeah, you know, we'll see. Go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, which, don't get me wrong, it's cool, but then sometimes you set yourself up with expectations when you start planning things that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's kind of like what's going on right now, because, you know, now she had already written how things are supposed to be, when really, you know, we don't know how things are supposed to be. You just get in there, build it, and just whatever comes out of it is going to be the results, you know.
Yeah, that's one talk I had with her too, and I was like, I feel like you put so much expectation that I could give you the whole world and you'll be mad at me because I didn't wrap it in a bow. And she's just like, that's not how it is. And I was like, Mel, we'll wake up, we'll have a wonderful time in the morning, you know, breakfast and messing around, all this, everything's great. You come to work with me, which I freaking think is amazing, because it's hard to do, not hard to do what I do, but when you do it for 8 hours and you're grinding and you're only running on Maverick food, like it gets tough when you're doing it for 7 months. And you came out and you did it with me for a couple days. You opened up your mind and looked at my perspective of life and see what I do, you know, which I think is amazing.
You got to tune into your dream,
right? And I really looked at you like, those are the moments I had where I was like, dang, like I can go far with this girl. Yeah. Because she's willing to do this and see what I go through, and she appreciates me, and that's big. When a girl appreciates you, you feel seen, you know.
Yeah. See, those are the moments I'm telling you about that mean more than the Hawaii trip. And stuff. But anyways, I'll keep going.
And so yeah, like I don't know, it was just really hard to explain to her that, and I wanted, like I said, a teammate to realize, like, you know, no matter what these little arguments or whatever he said, she said, like, let's not let the emotions get to the best of us, because at the end of the day, our goal is to be financially free and successful, so that way we can enjoy more time together and do whatever we want. If we do decide to have kids, we're not fighting over money because of the kids, you know. We're set, and we're just trying to make a good life for the three of us, for the kid, you know. Because I asked her, what do you want in life? She's like, all I've ever wanted to be is be a mom. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, kind of threw me off guard though, because it's like, I understand, that's awesome.
You were waiting to hear like maybe college degree,
a little,
or something.
No, just a little bit ambitious, like college degree, or like I wanted to eventually do a little business. I told her she's amazing with kids, man. Like, she is with kids the way I am with baseball, like 100% passion. She's a completely different person when she was kids, man. She's a confident, fearless, very intelligent, very aware. Focusing on what she needs to do to make sure the kid is good when she's doing nannying or whatever.
That's really her passion.
Right? It's her passion, man. Like, that's where she belongs. Mm-hmm. And
but yeah, there's also your side of the opinion or your side of the story, where it's like you want to set up a foundation before that.
Right. And
because you could be a good mom, but then if you're like struggling with bills and you're gonna take that shit out on your family members,
or putting a lot of pressure on me to provide everything. And it's like, damn. Nowadays, I feel like yeah, I want to provide, but now with everything getting so expensive, you definitely need a partnership to.
We don't want to be a slave to the family picture that everyone paints for us, you know,
right?
Or even just we're always slaves to the matrix too. So it's like, you gotta have double income, man.
You have to. I think you have to. I think you gotta have something. You gotta have some help, right?
Well, look how like, to be honest with you too. Like, so there's 5 of us, right? Mm-hmm. And so I used to take the family out. My wife and I would take the whole fams out. We would spend anywhere between like $30 to $40.
Yeah.
Now, bro, it's $100.
Oh yeah,
every time, man.
Easy bet, huh?
Yeah. So we were like making a joke about it. We were like, man, we need to stop going out to eat and this and that. And I told my wife, like, nah, we just need to start leaving the kids. You know, we just start laughing. Yeah. We're like, because you know, when you get older, you're more about the experience, you know. Yeah. And our kids, you know. Like,
and I bet your wife's pretty cool to where she's like, she understands. She's probably hustling and wants to save money too. So when you guys go out to eat, she's not like, I don't know. I might be talking out my ass. I don't know your wife, but she like.
We both go through our phases.
Like, $150 dinner and shit like that. And it's like, why? Like, you know, like the $150, like, you know, we can go get steak for $30 and some eggs and eat just as good, you know.
So that's where the masculine energy, which is me, is like stay home and cook every day, right?
Yeah.
But then like my wife's like the fun one, like, hey, you know, like let's go check out this place. I saw it online.
You said your wife's the fun one?
Yeah.
I would think you're the fun one.
Yes, but not in a controlling way. But just the things that I know that are going to benefit people, you know, like you said, like hard work.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you work for the man or if you work for yourself. At the end of the day, it's still hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chores cause an effect, right? Whatever you do, there's going to be an effect. So, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After you cook, who's going to clean up after yourself? You know what I mean? Like, just the little traditions that we were taught that I know today that benefited us and, you know, was incorporated into my reality as far as like discipline and, I mean, shit's tough, you know what I mean? So, but then again, I also understand too that my kids, they're gonna do whatever they do, you know. Mm-hmm. I just plant seeds and hopefully they decide to water them one day, you know.
Yeah.
But now my kids are chill though; they're really good. They're really just laid back. They help out a lot. And they're getting better through time too.
So, just especially like if you knew my mom, and I'm sure, I don't know, like my mom is very, very like strict. She was very
I know your mom. How old is she? Like 60s and up?
Yeah, she's about to be 70.
70? Yeah, 70. See, I know those ones. My parents are right there too.
She's like, with money, man, that's the thing, man. Now that I have my business, I really take a huge appreciation for my mom because she did this. She did this by herself, man, and she didn't have a business. She worked at Walmart for like 14 years, and she cleaned houses on the weekends, and you know, she retired at 60. And I went to Edward Jones to have some financial advice, and my mom had been with Edward Jones company for 20 plus years, dude. Yeah. And the guy was like, shook my hand, and he's like, your mom told me you were coming to see me, and I just want to let you know that your mom's one of the hardest working women I know. She's able to accomplish what like 70% of Americans aren't able to accomplish, which is retire at 60. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, like to hear that, I was like, cool.
That generation, bro, there.
I was like, that's freaking cool. And then now I look at it, I'm like, damn, my mom had 2 kids, me, and she like never took a day off. She was always working, and she was frugal, but it's not like I ever went without. Yeah, I didn't have cool video games and everything my friends had.
It comes a time where you decide what you need and what you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they understood that to a T. Like when my wife and I were first dating, bro, I had only been to like maybe 6 restaurants, right? And half of those were like buffets. You know what I mean? And then just, you know, with whatever exes from before, it was just like little small restaurant shit. But yeah, bro, I totally get it, man. And that generation, man, they're the hardest working generation.
They're leaving, man. They're leaving us.
That's why, you know, like I said, I passed down what benefited me, what I, you know, took and absorbed from them through my childhood, you know, which is hard work, you know. Doesn't matter what you want, you know.
Yeah.
It's all work at the end of the day. Cause and effect. Whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. And if you put out lazy shit, then you're going to have a lazy reality. You know what I mean?
So I think my mom painted that picture for me, man. So I'm like, I really want to have a foundation. My mom never owed nobody no money. She owned a duplex at one point for many years, and then she has investments in Edward Jones and investments in other stuff before my time. And she just was always like, look, if you have a lot of cash, that's freaking perfect, right? But if you don't have a lot of cash, the next best thing is credit. You have really good credit, nobody will say no to you. And I remember her saying that to me at a very young age. So she's always been very independent, no need of anybody. And I think I inherited that trait from her. She taught me that because it's like
Yeah.
I don't ever want to feel like that. And like you said, life throws some curveballs at you, and if you don't sit back and hit it, it can get expensive. And if you don't have that money there, that's where stress can be relieved when you got the money there to like, okay, that kind of sucked and that kind of set me back, but it's done, it's over with, and I learned from it, and like, let's keep it moving forward, you know?
Well, what's unfortunate too is that if you think about it, the system is set up to, we are all one paycheck away from being homeless, bro.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
That's shitty.
You know what I mean? I heard this one wise guy say, JOB stands for just over broke.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'm like, yeah, he's fucking right, because like, regardless of how much, efforts we put into work or just how hard we work, like at the end of the day, we are still limited, you know what I mean? Because of the system that's been laid out for us.
Right.
And it's funny though, but yeah, I realized some of those things, and it's just like what we were saying earlier, like just that hard-working generation, like you can have whatever it is that you want. Mm-hmm. You just got to know what it takes to get it.
The sacrifice for how much are you willing to sacrifice to get it?
Well, not necessarily sacrifice, but just like you're presented with challenges for these goals, right? Like even the minor's goal, like going out to eat, right? Mm-hmm. Now you got to get ready. You know, sometimes you got to shower. You got to, put in gas, and then you got to take your ass over there to go eat. Like that's a minor challenge to going out to a restaurant to go eat. Mm-hmm. But like I always tell everybody else, the bigger the goals, the bigger the challenges. You know what I'm saying?
Is it your hunger and the food outweigh like waiting in line and doing all this stuff, or is it like, fuck, I'm going to McDonald's?
Exactly, right?
You know?
So yeah, it's just like, that generation can teach you like exactly what it is that you learn, which is you can have whatever the fuck you want, no matter the situation. Like you said, your mom handled this shit on her own since day one, and was still able to make everything happen for you and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's just unfortunate, these people, like I said, they set these goals and then they give up on the first challenge. You know what I mean? Which is the leap. Remember we were talking about that when you were wanting to getting into your business?
Yeah.
That's the hardest part about it. The rest is just, going with the flow and
learning from your mistakes, huh?
Well, yeah, that's what mistakes are for. People look at mistakes as a bad thing, but mistakes are for us to learn and grow as an individual, and then, it makes you that much more wiser. People are always like, oh, you got to be strong through all these hard times. It's like, no, you got to be wiser, because being stronger just means you're taking the impact. You're embracing for impact. But if you're wiser, you can avoid that impact or use that impact to your own, benefits. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But yeah, so mistakes, man. I learned through business. My wife and I, that was like the first things we've ever learned through business, that like mistakes definitely happen.
They're gonna happen,
because if you learn from it, man, the growth that happens, like, man, that's why our waivers get longer and longer. You know what I'm saying? Because we made a mistake of leaving something out. The next thing you know, we're getting called out for it. Then we're like, okay, now we got to beef up our waiver, add some more things to it, But that's just like minor shit, I'm talking like just everything that came with all the challenges that my wife and I were granted through our goals, Like our goals is to be retired at age 40. And so I'm having like all these crazy shifts happening that a normal, regular person that wasn't prepared mentally would easily assume was bad. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd be like, oh, I lost my shop.
Yeah.
Oh, we sold the barbershop. But no, man, all those things are happening for us so that we can detach and retire at an earlier age, How can I retire when I got too much attachment to 3 businesses?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, hold on. So retire when you're attached to 3 businesses, but isn't the 3 businesses allowing you to retire?
That's what it is, but I can't retire if 3 businesses require my attention,
like
physically and mentally.
So wouldn't you want to just hire somebody to replace you, essentially? That way you're replaced.
That was the goal, but then, everybody's kind of getting on the same page right now. Like there's these younger generations, what do they say? They don't want to work for
other people, right? The big man, yeah.
So that's why we are going through this shift, because it's no longer what it used to be.
Right.
And these businesses, man, they were really beneficial to us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both like financially and just the learning lessons that we accumulated through all the trials and tribulations,
Yeah.
But yeah, so everything is shifting right now for us, as it is out there. Like everybody's going through this growth process, because it's just laws of nature, When the worst get worse, the better get better too. It's more verbal on the negative side, right? Remember we were talking about earlier, the news, all they project.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's the world's falling apart, but really it's not. It's just a necessary thing that's happening, It's just a cycle. It happens all the time. There's a pattern, It's been recorded and documented since day one. But so yeah, that's why I know why I'm landing in the path that I am because this is what I wanted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's what my wife and I've been working for. But you know, it's hard to get there, man. Like you got to go through so much, you know, challenges and growth to actually see stuff as that way. You know? But the thing is that you got to just keep in mind that everything happens in divine order, man. Like it's all happening for us. You wanted a great relationship, well, you need to experience this past one in order for you to grow into a better one, because like you said, you found out that you need to start focusing more on like other people's emotions as well, you know.
Yeah,
like the 50-50, you know.
At least when if I'm going to be in a relationship, then I got to put more
in it.
Yeah, I got to be in it. It's tough, man. It's very tough because
on comfort though,
and that's where my mind is right now. Is like that's why I want the Benjamin, man, just because I don't want to say like it's all about money, right? Because money can definitely it can be evil, but
yeah, but you can use it as a symbol of you know what you went through and like to be comfortable, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
To work for, you know, currency. I wouldn't say money, but
yeah,
you mastered currency and the transaction of energy.
yeah,
is a better way to put it.
Right. So it's something that I really like to do too. Like it feels good when I go and I land accounts and I do this and I'm working and I'm see the money coming in or the currency coming in. It feels good. Like I did that. Like I got a system in place and I just got to repeat the system over and over, and it brings me wealth, and it brings me what wealth provides is like I'm able to go hang out or do something or whatever and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. And you know, another thing you're going to experience too is that you'll fall into that pattern, but then sometimes things shift too and change, and that, you know what I mean, you got to be aware of those things too. Yeah. And that's what we're going through right now, because everything worked out for us perfectly until last year, and that's how I knew that there was change and growth around the corner for us, because we got comfortable too, man. Like we just sat here like you know, handling business, chilling, you know what I mean, and yeah, that's comfort. You know what I'm saying? There's no growth. So I know exactly why we're going through what we're going through, but it's just it's cool and fun to see other people start to go through that, you know, because I know it's all happening accordingly for like what we want. You know, your life's an exact mere projection of where you're at the moment, you know. Like whatever you're going through, no matter if you think you're better than that or not, it's you are attracting that situation because you needed to work something out, you know. So life's a mirror, man. That's what that Michael Jackson song stood for.
She tells
me
the man
in the mirror, man.
Yeah, Melissa tells me that all the time.
That's what I mean.
That she would tell me all the time, you're a mirror of your relationship. And I was like, I don't fucking cry all the time. You're not my mirror.
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, not that she's sad, because she's definitely not sad, but it's like she's more in touch and in tune with her you know, her emotion, and she can cry and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm over here working, having positive energy, wanting to go to the gym, just be an absolute monster in every aspect that I possibly can, and you're over here crying because I fucking didn't say like good morning or some shit. I was like, how's that a mirror, you know?
Yeah, no, you know what's funny though is that you have to be aware of the signs, even though she's not aligned with what she just said. At the end of the day, what she said is still true.
Yeah, dude,
those are the little signs you gotta look for.
She's very intelligent too, man. I would we would smoke and I'd kind of listen to her talk, and she would ramble off like a lot, so sometimes she'd be fucking going on like a million miles per hour.
You're like, oh man, I can only handle you in increments.
Yeah, I'm like looking at her like.
That's what people say about me, bro. Sometimes I can go off. That's like me just being sober.
Yeah, really?
Fuck yeah, bro, my mind is crazy, bro. Like, well, it's considered crazy in the Matrix, but yeah, but you know.
We would smoke, bro, and she would just go off, and I'd be watching Seinfeld or just chilling, and I kind of like look over at her, like her lips, and she's like, and I'm just like, damn, you got a lot to say, but a lot of the stuff that she did say was just very like sit in her thoughts, and I think she's high, she has just all these ideas and thoughts, and I'm just like,
I mean, you hear that's what it enhances, right?
I'm like, maybe I haven't reached that peak yet of like I'm in tune with my mentality, or I don't put too much thought into things. I don't know. So I just listen to her. A lot of things that she would say, man, is just like really big on. It would change my perspective. It would make me think about things, and I thought that was pretty cool.
You see what I mean? That sounds like was a really great relationship.
It was, man.
It's not the partnership that you need. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
but
yeah. I don't.
That's what you have to go through in order for you to find that, because now she's addressing all the things that you didn't really know about yourself as well. It's hidden deep down inside behind all that ego.
Yeah.
Even though you don't feel like you have the ego, that thought process is what ego blocks. You know.
Dude, I really want to not have an ego.
Yeah,
like
you know
I really try to look at. I feel like I really look at life, like with a lot of love and perspective, and like just learning. There's a lot of things that I don't know, and that's okay. I was listening to a podcast with Grant. What is it? Or is it Arnold Grant or Grant something? Where he's like a billionaire, and Shaq. I love listening to Shaq because he's so damn funny, but he's freaking smart. And not only is he smart, he came from like poverty, man. He came from pretty low and
straight from the hood. Huh?
And he talks about his dad, who was like a sergeant in the army, and his mom was super loving, and he had brothers and sisters, and his dad was like very. Obviously he's in the military, so discipline and like just being a good human being, and he just instilled some traits into Shaq. And one of the things Shaq was saying was like, I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I've never been scared to ask. Like, people learn in different ways. Some people are like self-taught, right? They look at something, they YouTube, they do research, they do a bunch of stuff to learn about it. And then there's other people who just ask. And that's the type of person I am. I just ask, and then people are like.
Another thing to support that or affirm that is that the answer is always no, unless you what?
Unless you ask. My brother says that a lot too.
Yeah, or the squeaky wheel gets the grease or whatever. Yeah. That old saying.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Yeah. And I don't have any problem asking. Like, there's just a lot of things that I haven't been exposed to, so I just ask because it's like, I could go do research and that'll do wonders for myself, right? Because I'm independently going to go do it. I'm not asking.
There's so much content out there too.
There's so much content, right?
Sometimes it's like it's targeting certain people at a certain level that are still going through that same relationship. You know what I mean? Or the same situation. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So.
But then there's someone like you where it's like you know how to do something, so it's like why not ask you?
I do sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like you're gonna open my eyes and you're gonna tell me, oh, the reason I did this is because. This is how I learned from my experience, or I made an error and then I learned from it. So now you're teaching me not to make that same error, and that's why I ask a lot. And I like listening to people talk. They say things like phrases, and I really like phrases. I write phrases down all the time. They stick for me.
I learned through my journey as well that like words are spells, and you can either
words
use them
are spells.
That's why they call it spelling, man. So like, like. If you think about it, whatever you put out there is full circle. It becomes part of your reality. So if you think about it, whatever you say and focus on is what's going to grow. And whatever you keep saying and repeating, what happens? It usually starts.
You are what you
start making it permanent in your reality. You know, not permanent like forever, but like you just put a block of that, whatever.
You're planting those negative seeds, like a bad seed.
Well, we've been programmed to use it against us, right? Like, I can never do this.
Right.
I'll never be this good enough to do that.
Melissa would always say, "I can't," and I would. It would make.
She's right either way.
It would make me flinch.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
Words are spells. You know what I mean?
She would say that, and I would literally flinch, dude. Like in my head, like it's almost like you'd take a punch, and I would say, "Mel, stop saying that," and she's like, "Oh, my bad," and I'm just like, "It's okay. Don't say it's your bad. Just." You got to realize, stop saying you can't. If you're going to say something, say like I'm currently struggling with, or I'm learning to do this, but stop saying you can't, because like you can do fucking anything, Melissa.
You know what's the best way to plant a seed in that sort of situation? I just correct them. Whenever they say I can't do that, you say you mean you will eventually.
Yeah,
and, I hear these like even people like that just come and go. They're like, I would, but I can't do this, and I said. Essentially, right?
Essentially, at this moment, but you will, or
because when you say you can't, you're putting a stall in your hypnotic rhythm, or what people call a manifestation. Because it's all through language, emotions, like whatever your mind is focusing on, and like your physical aspect. Like all three of those things need to be aligned in order for things to start rolling. Like you need to start acting like you have it already.
Yeah.
You need to start thinking like you have it already, and you need to start moving like you have it already. Once those three things are aligned, over time, it just becomes part of your reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, we've been programmed to use it against us, like through our music, media. Like, don't you think it's kind of ironic how they used to call our TV shows programs? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all been hidden in there. There's a guy I listen to too every once in a while. He's another wise one, but he says television is called tell lies to your vision.
Ooh, where did you hear that from?
There's this guy. His name is Ralph, but he's pretty up there though. I don't think a lot of stuff he'll say might make sense. So, but I I always tell people you need to find your own mentors online and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's whatever you're aligned with, you know?
You know what? One thing that I'm finding out about myself that I like is, don't get me wrong, man. I love TV. I love Netflix. I try to like not watch just.
You can use it towards your benefit, you know.
Right.
The educational shit.
There'll be times where I'll fucking binge watch Seinfeld and it's funny and it kind of like lets me smoke and just kind of degress while I'm looking at notes or whatever.
Distracting yourself for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But eventually, dude, there's times where, because like I said, right now I'm not too entertained because of the snow or I'm done with mowing. So it's like I try to sit and I write in my book like where can I get better at, you know, and. To be honest, man, I was like kicking myself in the butt because I woke up and I was doing laundry and I was folding clothes and I was high and I was thinking, where could I be making more money? Like where are the opportunities that I'm saying no to? And then I thought about you, and I was like, wow. I was like, Lecky called me about this and I'm saying no. Like I can do that job. Like what am I thinking? You know? And college, and then I messaged you right away before I let anything creep in my mind again. And then I got the ball rolling with you, and it's like I'm saying no to these opportunities that I want. Like. What am I doing, you know? So,
it's the subconscious, you know, it's still there.
So when I'm sitting there watching too much TV, there's times where I get like, I will just turn off not the TV, but I'll get out of Netflix or Hulu and I'll get on YouTube and I just start looking up lawn care stuff.
Yeah,
and I'll listen to a guy who's like, oh, how I turn my, how to get better in sales or how to make $1 million, $1 billion, and then I'll click it, and I'll get my little notebook out. And Sometimes I'll smoke or I'll listen to it or I'll be on my phone, but I'm listening. And then he'll say something and I'm like, ooh. And I'll get off my phone and I'll rewind it and I'll rewind it and rewind it and I'll write it down. And I say it over and over. And I always put like, I will or I do this, you know, and I am going to do this. I'm going to try this next year. Like next year when it comes to the next client, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to say. And I just repeat it over and over and then sometimes I'm starting to write just like my thoughts in my notebook, and I'll freaking take a minute or my phone will go off and I'll look and I'll go through like a whole page and a half. I'm like, damn,
that's good, man. I used to carry this notebook around, which I actually started doing again last week.
Nice.
But same thing is things that stick. You know, those are little messages that are being sent, you know, from your I call it your true source self, you know, it's helping you out.
I think when you throw down a lot of this stuff on paper too,
becomes more spells.
Yeah, more spells, and it just kind of kind of clears that clutter in there. Like, okay, now I wrote that down. Like that's taking that onto the next thing, you know, and then you're at, you know, it's whether it's doing cleaning the house or
your
being
mind can only
productive that
store
day.
so much. And
yeah,
no, it's good to write down. Any like back in the day, now it's different, but any like motivational speaker would tell you like the first part of accomplishing your goals is what? You know,
writing things down, setting goals.
It's always like that because honestly, that pen, like I said, is your wand. Spellings, right? You're putting spells out there, writing it, you know what I mean? And those are the good ones for yourself.
I really like you said telling lies to your vision. That shit smacked my brain.
It's true, man, because look at hip-hop music, for instance. Hip-hop used to be one of the most higher art forms of music because it was jazz and poetry put together, which is like two different artists that are aligned, you know. So you get double the amount of fucking truth out of it, you know. So
what I know you sent me some of this stuff, but like what would you say back, like that you listen to a lot? Like I listen to a lot of Tupac right now, Biggie,
so those guys
Nipsey
are
Hussle.
Unfortunately, like those guys are still good, but they still they talk a lot about like 3D problems, right? Like poverty and you know. But if you understand true reality and being tuned into your source self, none of that stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? Like those aren't problems anymore because you, like we were just saying earlier, you get to control your reality. And so how are these problems supposed to be yours unless you allow them to be? Right?
Yeah.
So, but like back in the day, like Rakim, you know, he has this song that's "Who Is God," which it's a metaphor throughout that whole song. That's just saying we are the creators of our own reality. You know what I'm saying? Like once you're tuned in, you're God, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just a lot of old ones from late 80s to early 90s, bro. Like they all spoke the truth. And then R&B too got dumbed down to just like pleasure and desires. But really R&B was like being tuned into like love, bro. Like there's no greater power in the universe than love, bro. That's the one thing humanity has not been able to control. Is love. You know what I'm saying? So love will always.
You know how you said like when I listen to Tupac, they're talking about poverty. Yeah, I do notice when Tupac gets to saying like, a lot about bitches and this and that, I kind of like, I'll skip the song.
Yeah.
Because I really like, I listen to that stuff because I really like the rhymes and I like what you, like the phrases. Sometimes I'm very easily motivated, so when I hear like a phrase, I'm like, "Damn, that's sick." I'll go write it down because I think it looks like I listen to a lot of Russ right now.
One of the first lines back to what you were just, or what you're just saying right now is Bob Marley, bro.
Yeah.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. You know what I mean? You become a slave to your thoughts, and honestly, yeah, like it just goes back to what I was saying, like. We are programmed to have negative thoughts. It's easier to be negative than to love somebody and forgive somebody. You know what I'm saying? So we all fall under that shit. But anyways, yeah, keep going.
I'll listen to a Russ, and a lot of people like Russ, but I've heard some friends are like, "Nah, dude, fuck Russ, whatever." But I listen to him because he says a lot of things, just words that like they'll rhyme, and it's like about believing himself, and a lot of what he says, I feel like I'm going towards like he speaks a lot about love and girls and like being misunderstood and just trying to like I like that, and I'm just
slowly
like
coming back, full circle. Because like I said, hip hop and jazz, you know what I'm saying, that's all they were spoke about back then. It was like, you know, being tuned in with your source self, or like, you know, they started turning into like bashing the system and all that stuff, but like, yeah, it just over time they realized how much power that music had and inspiration and influence. That if music is art, hip hop was art, how does it get better as it's being or how does it get worse as it's being practiced? You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to get better. So it was by design that, you know, they dumbed down the music industry and all that stuff, because, you know, it just goes back to like what we said, more programming, you know. And I think Tupac was the last era where they were like, all right, like so many people are following this guy and his words and Bob Marley type shit, you know. Yeah, we gotta just kill it off and then start a new platform, which was spend your money on gold chains and big booty bitches and alcohol, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then whatever else came after that, right? Now it's like, I feel like they're trying to take away families, you know, from home. Like, but anyways, getting off subject.
Who do you like to? So you listen to a lot of Bob Marley and like?
Yeah, anybody that's like just tuned in, bro. Like, there's Bob Marley. There's a lot of rappers that are still tuned in too, like KRS. That's why his name stands for Knowledge Reigns Supreme. He's always spoke about the truth, you know. Man, there's just so much out there, bro. A lot of my mixes, I don't know if you noticed, but they all have like hidden messages in there. Like I'll repeat certain phrases on there and stuff like that. But yeah, just anybody who's tuned in, like, speak the truth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, though, we'll just kind of chill out on some entertainment, more wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just listen to like some jiggy shit, but
you can't listen to the same like the same message over and over. Like, you kind of need a break from listen, have some fun, and
that's what fortunately becomes a challenge in like your mental, is that you get to a point where like a lot of this is just repeated information.
Yeah.
And then you got to find a way to keep it like spark going.
Interesting.
You know, to continue to have that nice
keep
feeling.
it relating to your life.
Yeah, and it's really that actually becomes, you know, another challenge as you grow. I started figuring a lot of stuff out, and then I think what paused my growth was like I was saying, like a lot of this stuff became so repetitive that I almost tricked myself into thinking that I knew everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just told myself, shut the fuck up. You only know a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Stay humble, stay wise.
Yeah.
Once you know it all, bro, that's when the growth stops. You know, I say that in art all the time when I used to mentor people, like apprenticeships.
Uh-huh.
I taught them more about mental health than I did with art, because art, your body just remembers like motion and all that stuff, but whatever's inside is what's going to project, you know what I mean? So I always taught my apprentices and interns that, you know, more about mental health and all that stuff, because now that you get really good at art or like executing a tattoo, then the next problem people have is like concept, you know, they can't come up with concepts and stuff like that. So, and it's all just mental wellness. Once your body and mind are aligned, bro, like just ideas and all that stuff just start flowing.
They flow, huh?
That's why I made that whole phrase, you know, artsy by nature, because like, you know, once you do it to the point where it just starts to flow, then it's in your nature, you know what I mean? It's just effortlessly, you know. But even that becomes repetitive over time. That's where I'm at. That's why I need like kind of detach a little bit too, just to give myself that little gap for me to breathe a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then just have a different perspective, and then just jump right back into it until the next challenge comes around.
You said you and your wife are gonna start traveling. Have you guys thought about like where you guys want to go first?
You know what? We've been traveling a lot lately.
Nice.
It's actually more of just freeing up time to do fun shit. You know, outside of what we've been slaving for the last like 10 years. Yeah, you know. I don't want to say slaving because it all happened
It has bad
accordingly for us.
right.
Yeah, but it just matrix joking wise, you know, because even though you have your own goals and you're self-employed, you're still a slave to your own goals and to yourself, you know.
Yeah.
So we're working outside of that, so we're detaching from all of that.
Is there a place you're pretty excited to go to?
Anywhere, to be honest with you, man. Like, I'm already chill, happy, so I take that everywhere I go, man. We could just go down to fucking Sugar House Park and I'm on vacation.
Yeah. I really want to visit like Australia, man, Hawaii and Thailand, and hang out with some monkeys and do some cruise and just anywhere there's a beach.
Yeah, same. All that's on the list for sure. Tokyo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
New Zealand, Europe.
New Zealand would be sick too. I want to go somewhere like New Zealand and where they eat, man. I want to freaking like gain like 10-15 pounds of just
shit. Just
eat.
go to Hawaii. It's closer.
Yeah.
A lot of good chefs out there in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They got the best fusion of like Asian and just any tropic food. You know what I mean? Like,
down there.
They mastered it. Yeah. Mastered.
Dude, my brother was a Marine for 4 years, and he was like stationed in Hawaii for like 3 of them or whatever. And me and my mom never went down there. We were supposed to go down there, and then he got married and pissed off my mom, so we didn't go. So I look at my brother like, you ruined my trip.
Yeah.
I should have already been in Hawaii. I should have been on the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, you found love.
That's funny. Yeah, no, my wife and I actually planned a couple trips to go out there, and same thing, like some crazy shit kept happening, and then we just never made it out there.
Yeah.
This wasn't our time yet. But soon it'll happen when
that's crazy too. That's awesome, man. Like, we're talking about getting old, but man, retiring at 40, that shit is not happening around here, you know. So like,
hey, don't
congratulations,
don't
man.
fuck up your
no, I know. I'm just saying, like, for others, for others, like you don't
hear that.
You don't hear that.
Yeah.
So and then
so I've been gone from my circle and everyone for the last 10 years. My wife and I are just like, hey, we'll kick it when we're kicking it. You know what I mean? Like, when we kick it, I'm gonna be like, hey, let's go here. You know? Like, I'll take my private jet real quick. But no, I know there's some good things around the corner for me. I'm just going with the flow, staying focused.
Yeah.
Chilling, enjoying all the changes and discomfort, because I know it's all happening for us and not to us. It's the way life works, man. Just get in your raft and flow. Bruce Lee said it best, man.
Who did?
Flow like water.
Who said it?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
That's what he meant, man.
Yeah.
Because everything is energy.
Be like water.
Yeah, that's how. What does currency flow like? Liquid. You know. It's all energy. He's talking about energy, man. Once you start thinking and like doubting, you're creating resistance in the river. You know what I'm saying?
My brother says that a lot too. He's like, stop creating resistance in your own path.
Yeah, it's true.
He says it a lot. Resistance is a big word in his vocab.
Well, how do they tell you how to like swim in a river? Like, you never go against it. You go with it.
Yeah, don't go swim up river.
We all swim up river though at one point or the other. You know? See, like, all this reggae vibes, bro. Reggae was hella tuned in, man.
Do you know a couple guys like Dustin Stepanovic?
Yeah, I think we talked about it through the baseball, right? Like,
yeah, Marco. You know Marcos Barella, the Barella brothers.
Probably by face.
Ruben Barella. He's always hanging out with Stip. Those guys love reggae. They go to the University of Utah games.
Oh,
and they're always going to all the concerts and stuff like that. They're always cool. Like, that's my vibe tribe, and those guys keep it real light. They're all dope.
Yeah, if you listen to the content, they're all talking about, raising humanity. There's this one song in the beginning. He's like, thank the universe for what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking about like the hardships and everything because it's helped him be who he needed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't hear that shit on pop music or on the mainstream radio, you know. So yeah, I know why I was always tuned into reggae besides, you know, my island side, because that's just like island vibes right there.
Yeah,
it's island music.
Russ always is like, he'll not always, but he talks about stuff like that, and he's always real like bringing up his mom and his music. And that's something I like because I'm close to my mom. You know, he's always thankful, and like when he's there, he just takes care of his mom, buys her whatever, and I'm like, that'd just be really sick to do. You know?
Yeah.
Just change my mom's life and her perspective of like, Mom, you see, like you did it the really, really hard way of grinding, and like you were so infatuated with money that
became a slave to it.
Yeah, slave to it. Money kind of blinded a lot of things, and we didn't create a lot of memories. And now, like, don't even worry about money. We're able to create memories and stuff, even though she's older. Like, I'd love to be able to show that to her, you know?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, too, you know, those are the things that they still taught us without intent. They taught us not to be such slaves, you know? Unfortunately, they worked so hard and got what they wanted, but, you know, it costed them their freedom as well.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a good balance. But see, that generation passed that down to us. Work fucking hard, but kick your feet up too when it's time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the saddest thing I heard from my dad, bro, like last Thanksgiving was, because I told you about how he had heart surgery and all that stuff.
No, you didn't tell me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's been up and down, bro. Like
I remember you told me he was old. You didn't want him to slip, but you didn't tell me he had heart surgery.
So not last November, but last year November, he had heart surgery, and so his health has been like up and down. But he mentioned that you know, he's like, man, he's like, if I wasn't sick, you know, I'd be traveling, I'd be seeing stuff, but he's like, I can't, you know. And it's just in my head, I was like, fuck, you should have been. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have been. But yeah, you know, those are the lessons that people have to learn too that way, you know. It's that old saying, you know, like, time is now, you know, life's too short, all that stuff. But unfortunately, that's kind of becoming like an irresponsible term because people just want to fuck around, you know. They get a little lump sum. Yeah, but I mean, but it's true though, you know, you got to find that balance. And that was one challenge that my wife and I learned too, is that we were hitting business so hard, like just all in every day. We were just like boom, boom, game planning, making our business grow, that the only time we had a break was when COVID happened, you know. And that gave us a little break to see how we were building things. It gave us an outer perspective of like how we were building our businesses. And we didn't see a lot of stuff because when you're in it and doing it, you only have an inside perspective of how you're building something because you're consumed by it. Yeah. But when you take these little breaks though, you get to have an outer perspective too. It's like, I was telling my client this, but it's like if you're painting something, like something big, like a large scale, and you're up close, you can paint that for 3 hours, and as soon as you take a step back, you'll notice the eyes are misproportioned. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that's how my wife and I were running our business. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that we could have done to you know, benefit other things that we were wanting to happen, you know. But
you get lost
we
in the
never
grind,
took we never took a break, bro. And COVID, you know, definitely happened for us because it gave us that outer perspective of how we were building our businesses. And it worked great for us because that led up to what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? We were like, damn, we're giving so much to these employees and we're not getting anything back, you know. And like, you know, the financial side of everything was okay, but it was never about the money. You know what I mean? It was about like, I'm providing a space for everybody that can, you know, learn the easier way from me as a mentor, or like provide a, you know, cool, clean, friendly environment for tattoos. Because at the time when we got into it, that was rare, you know. It was always like an uncomfortable situation in the tattoo industry, you know. But yeah, after a while though, we were just like, okay, cool, you know, we'll try this for another year and then see where it goes. And now we saw where it went. Now we're on this path. But those little breaks, they're true. Those are the signs that I missed that were always there. Don't forget to take a break.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm cool.
My brother says the same thing. He's like, if you're too close to the picture, like you see, you miss the whole thing. You gotta take a step back and
that's a better way to say it right there.
Yeah.
It's good, man. Your brother sounds like he's tuned in.
He's
aware.
He is. Him and I. He might move down here to help me with my lawn care. Just because I learned through my buddy, the one that he'll come help me push snow. Yeah. every year we have a meeting at the end just to see how like everything went, and then to see if he's going to come back.
Yeah,
follow ups and stuff like that. And he's deciding he's not going to come back, and it's like it's really tough because I really want him to be like my right hand man and take care of him, take care of him as I get further along with this business. But it just wasn't in the cards. Yeah. And so but the thing is, I'm noticing that it's really hard for me to move up in my business if I don't have like a good foundation, somebody I can kind of like not leave it to, but like, okay.
Well, you can do more when you have a crew.
Exactly. So my brother's always, he's a pretty crazy dude. I look at him because I told him like I need some help, and he was like down to move down here, and I was like, damn, that's like he's like my roll dog, man. He's willing to come down here, and I'll teach him and everything. And, he's just gonna move. Well, he's got one son down here and two daughters over there. So he's just going to move down here for the season for like 7 months and then go back, whatever, because he loves his daughters. And
of course, that balance.
Exactly. So, I don't know, but yeah, him and I will talk a lot, and he's got a lot to say about business. And it's crazy because him and I he's got his kids, and I think our perspective in life is a little bit different. Like I said, I came out like my mom, like very like work, no breaks, like money doesn't come easy, you gotta work. Like those are the messages my mom sent her whole life. You know,
like one day of no work kills you.
Yeah, and my brother's more like he's always said money comes and goes, and like I'll have it and I won't, and like his downfall's been kind of like relationships where he's a really good guy. So he gives
kids and no support system.
He gives everything, and then the girls kind of turn out to be like not what he expected, just because I don't think he spent enough time in like the relationship development, and then everything is exposed when the kids come out and the teeth come out, and then it's just they attack my brother. And I mean, I'm not gonna say it's all their fault, I'm sure my brother had a big play in it too, but he just kind of
in problems it's always 50-50.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as one side is the fault, it's both.
Yeah, so he'll have some crazy ideas where I kind of look and I'm like he thinks really, really outside the box. He loves saying that. He's like, you gotta think outside the box. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, sometimes you think hella outside the box. Like I wouldn't have thought, like you're bringing in too much in order to make that happen, But he's really good at changing my perspective and having talks. And if we have disagreements, he's like, you know what, bro? I'm just kind of thinking, like throwing out ideas. If one of them hits home for you, then perfect, then I did my job, and if they don't, then whatever, it doesn't. But just throwing out ideas, but it'd be cool for him to move down here. But then I actually was thinking the other day, man, how selfish am I that I'm only thinking about my business and only thinking about making money and like my growth, and like I totally didn't even think about my mom, dude. My mom's down there, and she's the only one down there. Like if my brother comes down here, she'll have his daughters, but that's it. Like it's just me and my brother and my mom,
Yeah.
So
this whole time I was under the impression she was out here.
No, she's down there. So my brother's expecting me to go down there and have a talk with him, but I think when I go down there on the 21st, I'm gonna say just forget about it, because as much as I love to be successful and increase my pay and another year under my belt with my lawn care with somebody who's gonna help me grow and more clientele, as much as I would love all that, I don't love it enough for you to leave mom by yourself down here. And
unfortunately, that's another crazy thing that, like, you love your mom and she's put in all the work and everything for you, to be who you are today.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? I'll say it for you. I don't know if this is gonna resonate now or never, but bro, we don't owe anybody anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, your life is your life, and if you wanna incorporate her as part of that, it could be a stepping stone, or it could be a block.
Like a whole,
yeah. But it's hard to make those decisions because we were always taught take care of the family, take care of the family, take care of the family. You know what I mean?
I think I'm more thinking about it like you never my mom told me this. She didn't even tell me this until it had already passed. But she was telling me that she was eating something, and I don't know if she went to go like sneeze or hiccup or something, and the food got lodged in her throat.
Oh shit!
And she freaking choked so bad that she ended up urinating.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I was like, Mom, like, how can you do that? Like, please, always have water on deck, or like eat slow, or pay attention to what you're doing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you need to be sitting down when you're eating. Like, I like so many emotions went through my mind just hearing that, and I get so emotional when I think about my mom. But I was like, was like, Mom, you can't be doing that. Like, you can't be choking on chicken. Like, please just eat slow and don't be on the phone when you're eating, because you get to talking real quick and then you're eating and all it is like a quick little breath of air and you choke or something,
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot to choke.
So I told her.
I almost died from choking.
Yeah, my brother has too. So, that's why I'm doing it for. It's like, what if my mom falls, or what if she needs like help with something? She's almost 70, and it's like, at least she has my brother there to be like, Mijo, like I want something fixed. Can you help me? I can't do it. At least my brother can go over there. Or if she just needs somebody to talk to and hug, or somewhere to cry, it's like, at least she has my brother. I wish it was me, because I miss her a lot.
Yeah.
And she's over there and she's not down here. But it's like, for her to be 100% by herself with her dog, like I would have a hard time with that.
Yeah, it kills you. The thought of like just something like that happening and no one being there, you're gonna take it out on yourself and all that.
Yeah,
bro. That's one of the unfortunate things too about Polynesian culture, because they're all about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of these kids, it sucks, man. I see them and they're not making any moves for themselves because of the same reason. Like, they're like, I gotta take care of mom and grandma,
Yeah.
And I know a lot of them are gonna disagree with what I am saying, but dude, you gotta get out there and live your life too, man.
Yeah.
Like, we don't owe anybody anything, bro. Like, we really don't,
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because, like, there's kids in their 30s and they're still doing it. Like, I see it too. They're miserable. They will never say it, but they're just a slave to their family. They're just not happy. They're not making moves. You know what I'm saying? They're just there providing, and it's just like, fuck. It sucks.
So
how are you supposed to tell your family that you're always supposed to be there with, to do it? But at the end of the day, you got your own life that you got to go out and live and do. And I feel like, as a true family member, my kids and all that, I don't want them to ever step out of their reality to fucking serve my ass and shit like that. Like, they already served their lives to me. Just having kids, man, it helped me grow so much. I learned more from my kids than I can ever think I ever taught them, because just they help you tighten up your discipline, they help you learn so much about yourselves, and just they teach you patience. Like, I think kids are the true teachers and the parents, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think we learn more from our kids than we actually teach, but our egos will tell us otherwise. But anyways, though,
one thing that kind of helped me though was Nick is my mentor, Meza. He one thing we've always talked about is like, a lot of things that happen, like come challenges in our life, at the end of the day, like, a lot of it's gonna be all right. It works out, but we find a way. A lot of things I was worried about before, it has worked out for me. So when I talked to Nick about it, Nick's like, Gio, like, I'm always gonna have people around, and like, if you ever need a help or somebody to stick around for the mowing season, like, I have people. And then I have Duncan, who was the first guy who helped me the first year. So I could definitely reach out to him and ask him, like, hey, if I give you a pay raise, would you want to do another year with me, and maybe talk a little bit more serious about doing maybe a couple years with me, and and figuring that out. And I think I know I can do it. I'm not gonna say by myself, but I know I'll figure it out, and I know I can make it happen without, like I said, bringing my brother down here. It would be a lot easier with my brother, because my brother loves me and I love my brother, to where I know if we went anywhere, like the market, my brother would be like, oh, how's it going? My name's Carlos, and this is my brother. He owns a business. You ever need that right there, word of mouth, I'll land clients. And I'll be further along than I would be by myself, because I have, like you said, my brother's in my crew, and he wants to see me successful, and I want to see him successful, and then we'll team up and we'll tackle it together,
Then you'll have a big fight and breakup.
No, that's funny kidding. Too. I was putting that in my mind. Like, we're gonna have disagreements, we're gonna have arguments, but Nick, his brother, is his right hand man in his business, and he's helped him a lot. And once those kind of hiccups are passed, and you guys talk, and everything's laid out on the table, and you guys know your expectation and your goals, like, everything flows from then.
Just always handle it like business,
right?
And you'll be always okay, because you start getting loose ends by, you're like, oh, that's my brother, I can just pay him under the table. No, you have to treat everybody as an employee, a business partner.
Right.
Because as soon as some shit comes up, it's already written in paper. You can be like, hey, bro, I know she did this, but don't forget, remember we agreed on that. And they'll be like, oh, okay, there's no fucking excuse anymore.
Right.
It's not like, but I do this much for the company.
Yeah, it's not like you're just having a conversation, and it's not like being attacked. Nobody's being attacked.
So you
it's
always
just like,
have to handle it as business as usual, because then it's just set in stone.
And he's pretty good. One thing I like about, like, that my brother, he knows that how I am, so he's not the type of person where he's gonna be like, he's not going to take advantage, you know, like that's not my brother isn't like that, where I mean he might on like some things or whatever in aspects of life, but when it comes to business, my brother is very business savvy. He's just, because of the things that happened to him with the girls and having kids, like he doesn't have like the financialness to kind of do it on his own. But he is smart, and he is very like, I understand it's your business, I'm not going to ask for a part of your business, nothing, like you don't need me, you're already 3 years in and you paid, you know, all your equipment's paid off and everything.
Yeah,
like
at this point he's just complimenting it rather than helping you build,
right?
So he won't have that entitledness in there,
right?
Yeah.
So, and that's something that's really cool and that I want. But with, you know, Nick saying like, dude, everything's gonna be all right, like I'm gonna help you if you need somebody for this summer. I think, like I said, I kind of sat in my feelings and was like, man, I feel like I'm being very selfish and only making it about me. And it's like, my mom needs somebody, and if my brother's over there and his daughter's over there, like I shouldn't take somebody to kind of like look over. It's not like my brother's over there babysitting her, you know. My mom lives on her own, but and has everything.
The thought of having somebody there closer, and all
that, like I need somebody in case she falls or something. Like my brother's kind of is my eyes too. Like, hey, bro, mom's feeling kind of sick. I think you need to come visit her.
Who knows, man? Maybe your mom might want to come out here. You know?
Yeah,
you never know, man.
Well, she probably will in the summer. She'll come out and visit, but it's just too cold.
Yeah.
For her, and she had the knee replacement, so the cold really hurts her knee and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm sure if both of us are down here working, I don't know. We'll have to talk some more. We'll see. We'll see. There's always going to be options and ideas and things.
Yeah, you just got to choose which one you think's going to be most beneficial to everyone.
So, what time do these guys start up?
Sunday and Monday they're closed.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they usually start up at 11, and then Saturdays they're here at 9 and get out at 5.
Is the coffee place open?
No, we still got a whole bunch of stuff too that we're going through for that.
Oh, okay.
Slowly but surely. A lot of different things that we've been learning.
But it is running, or are you guys just doing some construction stuff over there?
Just pop-ups and stuff. We got to switch out some sinks.
Okay.
Things like that. Yeah, just little minor stuff, but expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, my wife and I, we were like, man, we got to get this going 3 months. You know, we usually hit our 3-month goal, and then we're like open. But this one, you can tell it's meant to just chill out. And we'll open when we open.
Yeah.
It's because I know how my wife and I are.
Yeah.
We always take things in our own hands and then we do it, you know. But this time we've hit so many roadblocks that we're like, okay, like this is going to happen when it's supposed to. So
yeah.
We'll just chill out, take a few steps back, and then just go with the flow and let it happen. Instead of, because resistance can come with like results too, you know what I mean? Because we're trying so hard to push it and get it going, and then we're like, keep hitting roadblocks. So we got to just, my wife and I finally just pay attention to the signs, and we're like, all right, chill out a little bit, build some more, you know, and then we'll be cool. All in time, all in the illusion of time. Your brother ever have conversations with you about time?
One thing that he enlightened me was it almost made me cry, dude. Was we talk a lot, like I said, business and money and all this. And one day he was like struggling to work for like a month. I think an entire month he worked like 4 days.
Oh man.
And
health issues or?
No, man. I think he just bounces off a lot of ideas, and the ideas don't work out. And then, or I think this was like a couple years ago. So I think I don't know if like the anger got the best of him, and he ended up quitting a job before he got another one. And by the time he got another job, like a whole month had gone by, something like that. And my brother doesn't really like have that. What's the word for like, not pressure, but like urgency to like, all right, I gotta freaking hurry up and get, like, I got 3 kids and like
or
that,
like motivation. And
yeah.
Stuff like that,
so I don't know what he was going through, but I remember that whole month he was just like, he loves the golf. You know, we played baseball forever, but he likes to golf now. So he would tell my mom, get ready, I'm gonna go pick you up. We'll go play like 9 holes, whatever. My mom doesn't play, but just to go talk, to talk, you know.
Hang out.
She'll drive the cart around while he golfs or whatever, you know. And they have laughs. So they would go, and in her mind, she wouldn't say anything because she's had so many arguments with my brother where she's just like, how do you have this money to golf? And like, but the things, the necessities that you need to take care of, like that's what you need to take care of, you know. And but she would like bite her tongue for a little while, and then one day she was just like,
you know what,
like, or like my brother will kind of like ask for money or whatever, and then that's when my mom was like, how can you ask for money when this and that or blah blah blah. But
so that probably hit him pretty good in the gut, huh?
Yeah, it hits him. But so what he said was, bro, like you and mom have such of the same mentality where you guys work. He's like, do you guys realize that like time goes by so fast, and that when you guys, if something were to happen, hopefully God's not hearing me, but something were to happen, like all you're gonna remember like the little bit of memories you have, but all the memories that you should have had because you were working the whole time. But like if something were to happen to mom, like you know how many beautiful memories I have and laughs that I have of like me golfing with her and like all the conversations we had and all this stuff. And I was like, damn, like that's true, because I mean I have a blast when I go down there and like for Christmas time. Like I love Christmas time because I'm with my mom, I'm with my brother. We go bowling, we'll go to the casino. I tell my mom, let's go get our nails done. Like let's go. I'll get a pedicure just for the massage, and like my mom getting her feet done. She's taking a nap, and like we have good laughs.
Just getting in that time, right?
Just getting that time, and it's like I really look forward to like Christmas time. I really like going hang out with her and seeing her laugh and smile and open up gifts. And my brother truly sees life like that. Like at least I built a bunch of memories, and mom's over here just thinking about money. And she's the one that's retired. Like it's my life.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, damn, like I would be shitting bricks, but my brother, you know, he's in my life, and he has that mentality for, you know, different reasons, and I don't know.
It's true, yeah. Everybody plays a different part and role, you know.
Yeah.
But no, he's right, man. It's kind of like what I just said too about my dad. You know, he was like on Thanksgiving dinner. He's just kind of like, man, you know, I've been wanting to travel and do all this stuff, but he's like, but I've been sick. And you know, I didn't want to say it, but in the back of my head I'm like, damn, bro, like you should have been. You know?
Yeah.
You guys just fucking worked your ass off to the point where it's like now that's all you have.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, our parents got kind of suckered under the coming to this country and being free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, like this is the country of land of opportunity, but then at the same time it comes with a cost, which is financial. Like you pay to play, and then your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Your time,
and you don't get that back.
That freedom, exactly, man.
So my brother, he said that, and I was just like, damn, like it's true, man. He probably got a lot of beautiful laughs and beautiful memories of my mom laughing, because I love seeing her laugh and smile, and the way she giggles and she can't breathe from how hard she's laughing. Like I love that. I love cracking a joke or doing something that cracks her up.
Just vibing, right?
I'll call her all the time, and I'm like, joke with her or tease her, or she goes a couple days without calling me. I'm like, forget you had a son? I'm over here. I can't sleep for hours because I'm waiting for a call from my mom.
Neglecting me.
Yeah, and I do that because she would do that to me when I was in high school. Like I can't sleep when you're out with your friends, and you don't know what a mom goes through and this and that. So now I do, and I'm like, I can't eat. I'm not eating well. Even my dogs, the tail's tucked because we were just wondering where Helen's at. Right, and my mom she'll just laugh. She's like, I can't believe how much how much you lie. Like how much. I was like, you must. The next time I see you, you're gonna be like Pinocchio because your nose grows so much. And she just will laugh, and I know that she's gonna have like a better day because she had a great little laugh and great little convo, and we tease each other, you know. So I look forward to those, and so my brother said that, you know, about time, and it made me realize, like, damn, it's true, man. But it also kind of, that part of me still doesn't go away, where it's like, well, if I can fucking just work really hard and make a little bit more money, then I can free up and go hang out with my mom. I can buy time. If I get like a duplex and just rent out the properties, I can be like, you know, someone's in place for my mowers in my company, and I got money coming in from this. Like, mom, I'm gonna come out there and make sure she's retired already, so it's like, you want to go to Mexico? You want to go do this? We went on a trip to Mexico and we had a freaking blast. Like, mom, you want to do that again? Do you want to go to Salvador? Like, you want to go do that?
Yeah.
And she says, yeah. She has the money. Like, let's go do it, and we can go build a memory, you know?
Yeah. No, that's exactly right, man. Those are the true. What do you call? Because people think being rich is all financial, right? Mm-hmm. But no, it's actually those experiences and those things you get to share with somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, your brother's right though. Just, that's the things that money can't buy is experiences with your family.
Yeah.
And see, that's why we're backing off. That where we're at right now is because, I got caught up in the hustle and the grind too, man. Like,
dude, and you're doing it at such a good age too. I mean, when you retire at 40, like, look at you, man. I don't know about your internals, but like, you're fine. Like, you can still hang out with your kids and go do stuff. Like, imagine retiring at 60 when you're hella old and like
beat up,
things hurt and
like
tired.
My pops, bro.
Yeah,
like his heart's giving up. Like, he's like young, bro. Like, I hate to say it, but he's not enjoying life where he should be right now.
Yeah.
Which was always now.
Yeah, and look at my mom too. She works so hard, and my mom's got money, dude. Like, my mom's got money, and but with her knee problem, with that replacement knee surgery, and my brother's like, Mom, you saved away all this money for your vejez, which is like your retirement, your olden age. That's what this money's for. Like, you should be getting two massages like a week or every 2 weeks to massage your knee, massage that behind the knee where that
just
whatever it is, taking care of your health.
Right?
Like, that's what that money's for, and you don't even use it because you're like, no, the money needs to stay there. And it's like, Mom, for what? Like,
you spent all these
you're
years.
Retired.
It's funny.
You're retired. You can't take it with you. Spend it and make sure you feel good.
They're still stuck in that,
Yeah. I told my mom, because she asked me advice about my brother, and it's always the same. She's always crying wolf about the same thing. And I'm like, Mom, I know I'm the youngest, I'm 30 now, and this and that, and thankfully I have like a system in place, and it's bringing me money. And I'm not stressing. Not that I'm not stressing about money, but I'm taking care of myself. I was like, don't you have, hopefully God's not hearing me, and I was like, don't you have you have money for like my brother and I if something were to happen to you, right? She's like, yeah. And I was like, well, have you ever thought about just like how much money? I said, you don't have to tell me the exact number, but just tell me how much are you thinking of giving my brother or myself if something were to happen to you. And she's like, well, I don't know, like 50,000 each. And I'm like, why don't you give him fucking 10 of it right now? And she's like, why would I do that? And she like was not expecting that answer. And I was like, well, you're our mom, right? And I was like, I know that you want him to learn and do it all on his own, but it's like, but you're our mom and you have that, and it's like, wouldn't you want to help him when you're alive and you can see what that money's going to, and like maybe change his life, help him de-stress in one area or whatever, rather than you being passed away and then he does whatever he wants with the money?
She wants to look at it as like a gift death, right?
What's that?
She wants to look at it more as like a gift from her death.
Yeah.
Like, when I go, here's what I'm leaving.
Yeah, and it's like, why wouldn't you want to enjoy that? Like, why would you want to do that when you're gone? Like, why? You can help him now.
You can go both ways, right?
You can go both. Like, you can help him now. I'm not. And she's like, what if he just blows it? And I was like, well, that's what I'm saying. Just give him 10.
If he's gonna blow it now, then he's gonna blow it when he gets it then.
So I told him, I was like, well, why don't you just test it and give him 10? What if with 10 he starts something up and it freaking changes his life?
Pays it right back or something.
Or pays it right back. And if he shits it away, then you say, hey, well, now you're only getting 40 when I pass away, and now you're not getting it. But 10 grand is enough to help him with like relieve some stress in some area to where he's like, holy shit, I got $10,000. Am I going to use it just to pay bills, or am I going to use it to build something that's going to pay the bills? Like, you just never know, but you're alive to see it.
$10,000 worth of golf holes.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I don't know. So it's like, and I told him, you know what, Mom? If it makes you feel better, I'm going to be very successful, and I'm working really, really hard so that I have money in my pocket. And I was like, I won't even need that 50,000 that you want to give me when you pass away. So if he pisses it away, just take the 10,000 away from the money you were going to give me and give it back to him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'm working, and as long as I'm able to get up and have breath in my body, I'm gonna go try to collect this money so that I don't have to rely on anybody, just like you didn't have to rely on anybody. And till this day, you think she even thought twice about doing that? So it's like, I don't know, man.
That's one thing about.
What do you think? Do you think that was good advice, bad advice? I feel like it's just the same thing over and over, and it's like, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way, Like, I'm a believer of never saving money. To me, saving money and sitting money is just sitting money.
That's what my brother says.
My money can always be rolled into something else to benefit that flow of income, you know. And I think that's why we made it throughout all these crazy times, you know, because we invested, you know what I mean? Investing does not mean anything about saving. It's about putting money towards something you know is going to grow.
Yeah.
And so I don't believe in saving money, like as far as like what your mom's doing. Like, to me, I just feel like, you know, if you keep rolling it in, like you said, you can accumulate more of that income, and then eventually you get to the point where like you just have so much of it flowing that you already have that base of like, if you die, you will leave something, you know.
Yeah. So that actually brings me to another point. So I sat there and I thought, like, okay, so that didn't even resonate with my mom at all. I went through one ear, she didn't even comprehend that.
They're fucking stubborn as shit.
So I told her, so I said, you know what I've been doing? I was like, Mom, you have enough income, you have enough money, and I have pretty good credit. Like, what can we do so that I don't have to work so damn hard? Because you're already there. What can we do where we can partner up and make more money? And I was like, and my uncle, which is my mom's brother, he's another guy who he's fly straight. Like, he lived in LA his entire life, same place. He even built something behind his house and rented that out for like the last 50 years. Yeah. And he's worked doing scaffolding for a company for like 50 years, retired. He's making really good money, and he's sitting on some good land in a place in Palm Beach, California, and he's retired. And I'm like, Mom, why don't you come up with a business plan and go to my Uncle Donald and go 50-50, and you guys don't have any overhead, everything's paid off, you guys have money, you guys are both retired, and you guys, if you guys are so worried about money, why don't you guys buy like a place in Mexico or Cabo and just rent it out all year long? And now you have something bringing you guys both money. Not a lot of money, but it's bringing you some money, and then you guys try that for 2-3 years and then buy a duplex somewhere and bring in more money, and you guys are just literally hiring investors or property management, and you guys are and bringing in money by doing nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, I told my mom, I was like, and I have a little bit of bread saved away, and I was like, why don't you include me in that? Like, maybe I only get 20 or 30%, but 30% of something.
Be like, I was like a maintenance guy.
I was like, I don't need to get rich right now. Yeah, it'd be awesome. If anybody asks you, would you get rich right now or later? Everyone's gonna say right now. But it's like, I understand that I'm working, and it's gonna take time, and as long as I'm alive, like I said, I'll take little by little each year and accumulate rather than getting it all right now. And so I've been trying to plant that seed in my mom, and she hasn't gone to my uncle. And I was like, you know what, give me my uncle's number, I'll tell him, and him and I will go 50-50, and we'll make a lot of money, and we won't give you any of it. And my mom's like, why are you not going to give me any of it? I was like, because you're too scared to take the leap. Like, you've already worked so hard.
Only the financial support of the dream.
Yeah, and it's like, you want the money, you want the money, but you just want the money to sit in your bank so you have like something to rest on. Like, no, like there's so much money out there that to be made, and you can keep making it, and you can get your son out of debt. You can give more to us. You can teach us. You can maybe make something so that we can get into it and make money and get ourselves out of debt. Like, there's so many possibilities. But you're about to be 70 and you're still scared. What are you scared of? Like, you did this all by yourself, and now you have a crew of my brother who's really smart. You have me who have a little bit of coin in my pocket, and I'm learning and I'm willing to grow. Let's just set a plan. Let's think about the vision and goal, and then let's action. Like, we got to take action. But without action, if we don't start right now, we don't make the errors. And then 5 years goes by, and then we start 5 years from now. But it's like 5 years, not too late, but it's like we could have been further along in 5 years.
Yeah.
We gotta get the wheel going. Like,
well, you have to. It kind of goes back to what I said, man. Everybody plays a certain role in their reality, and I learned through business that through expectations of employees, like there's leaders, workers, and then cleaners. You get what I'm saying? Right now, your mom is a worker. You get what I'm saying? And you're the leader, and you want her to be a leader, but that was never her goal. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Otherwise, she would have had owned her own business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah, man, it's just.
I just gotta be that. Would you say leader, action, or no leader, cleaners, workers?
Yeah, so there's the owners, right? The leaders, and then there's the workers, and then the cleaners. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, yeah, man, your mom falls under one of those categories that enables her to be a leader because you're the leader, not her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, too. I think because I'm a result of my mom, I'm also a worker, but I've learned to, ask questions, and because of working so hard and these 3 years of mowing lawn, well, 3 years of my own, and the money coming in, I'm learning like I can be a leader. Like this is the things that I want are really attainable and happening because the money's coming in if I just work hard. But now I'm working hard in my own business. So I'm trying to teach my mom, like, you worked really hard and you have what I don't have, a shit ton of money. So it's like, now you got to take that money and invest it or do something, roll it into something else so that it keeps bringing you more money. And you're right there. And she's, like you said, man, she does not consume it at all.
They're not the business investors, you know. Like I said, if they were, they really would have been on that path a long time ago. Everybody plays a certain role, man. And her role was just to teach you how to be closer to your goals by teaching you the good habits and all that stuff. But yeah, man, that's just what it is, bro. Sucks because telling her to do that falls under control, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't control anything.
Right.
There's not one thing you can control, you know?
So I told her, so when I tore my ACL, I got in a huge fight with my mom. I actually got in a fight with her. I packed my shit up and I told my brother I booked a flight to Utah at this time. Can you take me? Don't tell mom.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. And I grabbed my bags and I left. My mom was looked at me like, what the? Where are you freaking going? And I just didn't say a word to her, man. I didn't talk to her for like 3 weeks.
A minute, huh?
Yeah, which is a lot because I talked to my mom and my brother quite a bit. So 3 weeks felt like forever. I was playing basketball down here with Nick and some guys, and I ended up tearing my ACL. And it's like, the reason we were fighting with my mom was because I was trying to tell her what to do with her money. And I was like, you know what, Mom? After I calmed down and I kind of took a step back and to see the whole picture and learn, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I apologize. We shouldn't have fought for that. I am no one to tell you what to do with your own money. You worked and you sacrificed and you grinded. That is your money. And I promise you I'll never tell you what to do with your money ever again. So when I told her, like, you should give some to my brother, like, I'm just giving you advice and maybe like a perspective change. Like, you want him to learn a lesson that he already either learns, but he's so much in the hole that he can't get out of, and like, you have an opportunity to help him get out of that hole. But my mom's so like, well, if I help him, then how is he gonna learn? It's like, when you're so much in the hole from child support and like these women who've drowned him and whatever, like he needs help.
You know what though, man? Remember, everything happens for you.
Yeah,
not to you. Those challenges are meant for him to go and get through so that he can grow as a better being, you know what I mean?
So where I think I struggle is like, what happens if like it's been happening like this for like the last 10 years?
Bro, it's like some people don't pass level 1 on Mario.
I know.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm just like, my mom will come at me and it's always the same thing, and it's like, dang, like, Mom, I'm not shushing you away or anything, but it's like, we can't have the same conversation for like the next 5 years. Like, something's got to give. Like, I know you want him to figure it out, but like, I don't know why he hasn't figured it out or why he hasn't been able to do it. Like, he is fucking intelligent. Like, he's 11 years older than me. I look up to him. There's something. He chooses so much of his family, like his daughters, over work.
Exactly.
And I'm just like,
you see what I mean? I feel like we owe people, and then it becomes exactly that. It becomes less about you and your goals in life and more about other people.
I told him, I was like,
that's just what it is.
I was like, bro, I feel like I'm willing to sacrifice a lot for my vision and my goal, and I feel like that's why I have a lot of positive results, because I'm putting my head down and I'm working. I'm following my system of, you land a client and you treat them really nice and you go and you do what you tell them you're going to do, and you do a little extra, do a good job. So that way when they give you the money, they feel like it's almost like it's nothing because I do so much. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's what I want. That's what Nick does. He makes the client feel loved and feel good, and no little extra thing is too hard. He'll just do it because he cares. That's how, and I feel like
no extra cost.
Right. And I would like to do that because I want to be a good person. I am a good person, and I want the client to freaking feel like, he did a good job.
Why
you know,
I called you too. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
so it's there already. I don't just call motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I know who I can trust and not. And I just been through too many different relationships and through business and, you know what I mean, life in general. So, but yeah, no, you definitely already have it. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You already have that. people are always saying I'm cool, but like I can't be cool if you're not.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
because you wouldn't be around them.
So there's a 50-50 connection, man.
So, like, I don't know. Really, I don't know. We all have our different lives, and my brother's definitely has his, you know, he's gone through his ups and his downs, and like, who am I to, when I was telling him about the sacrifice, I was like, I understand you want your girls and you love them and you can't live without them, but
how are you supposed to build and provide for them if you're?
I said, yeah, the way I look at it is, whether you either sacrifice now or you sacrifice your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, if you sacrifice the time right now, say, hey, girls, like, I know I got to go away for a little while. I'm gonna help your Theo, which is uncle, and grow and make some money and kind of work on him, and it's an opportunity for me to make money and to grow. That way, when I come back, I'm able to spoil you guys more, spend more time with you guys, and kind of show them, like,
just do more.
In life, you're
that's
gonna
the
go
thing,
through
though,
things.
is like him going through that process is already for the kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But he's making it like, you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, he's like, I can't. He tells me all the time, I can't live without my girls.
See,
I can't live without my girls.
See the words that are spells,
and I tell him
it became his reality.
And I haven't told this to him because I don't have the heart to say it to him. I probably will eventually, but it's like,
you have to.
I tell him, Gianni's here, his son.
Oh,
it's like, you have the girls in Arizona, but you have Gianni here. Like, how come you can't live without Gianni? You know, like, like, you're just, the girls got so much wrapped around your finger that you're infatuated with spending so much time with the girls that they're not, the time that you're spending with the girls, you could have been getting a side hustle or doing something that helps you grow yourself, you know, learn things about yourself, and then you can instill that into your daughters, or have the money later when they're 19, 20 to get them a car so that they're able to be safe in high school and, everything.
He just doesn't see the bigger picture.
So I say sacrifice now and put your head down and grind, and then enjoy the time next, you know, when you have the little bit more change in your pocket. And
right now is the time to do it because, like, how old are they?
Kids. Well, the kids are about to be 10 and like 12 or something like that.
You see, because when my wife and I first opened up our businesses too, like, you know what I mean, we had to always take turns. Like, I would miss out on the birthdays, you know, come home at like late, you know, 9, 10 p.m. and, you know, everyone was just cleaning up and calling it in, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, he has to do it soon, otherwise, like you said, it's just gonna be a for life thing, you know.
I told him, I was like, bro, you're 40, right? 41, because he's 11 years older than me. I was like, and it's tough to say this, man, because you don't know. Like you said, we just talked about time. You never know. Like, he could be gone.
Yeah, so wise, but
it's so wise, but it's so hard
like,
too. Cause
he
it's
doesn't see his own the illusion behind it.
I just kind of tell him, like, bro, the way I look at it is, and I'm the reason I look at it like this is because it's been exposed to me. Like, I know it to be true that if you put your head down and work really hard and just show up and do a good job, the money comes. And when the money comes, I'm able to, I didn't go work today. I'm hanging out with my dog and I'm hanging out with you today. You know, and I'm not tripping because I have some savings away. I know that I have 8-7 months to work and grind, and then do a little warehouse job, whatever, and buy myself some time.
Yeah, but it's just, it's like you said, though, you know what I mean? We see it, but, you know, our expectations is like what's leading you to feel bad about the situation. But that's, you know, you just have to let it go. Like, that's them, that's their life, that's their problems, their situation. Unfortunately, some people learn later.
Yeah.
Sometimes they gotta re-enter the game of life. You know?
So I told him, I was like, dude, you're 41. Would you rather work really hard for 5 years and then get to spend more time with your daughter because you put your head down for the 5 years, or would you rather spend the same amount of time that you're spending with them right now, or maybe even less, as you get older? Because that's what's going to happen. Because you're in the same position to where you always have to go out and work, always have to go out and work, and you're sacrificing that time. Or would you rather work really hard now and then get to spend more time later with your daughters?
Yeah, and then they're getting to that age too now where they're gonna start remembering, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get where he's at, but that's that leap. That's the hardest part. That's why I always tell people, making the leap is the hardest part. And he's already casted a spell upon himself. I can't leave the girl.
He says that with so much passion, dude. And I'm like looking at him. And it's hard. It's hard because I'm like, I don't have kids, so how can I say? Like, I'm not saying don't love them. I'm just saying FaceTime them and call them just like you call Gianni, and just, or have them visit every 3 months. You know, the season's only 7 months long.
You see it in nature all the time. Like, you know, the nest gets left so that the parent can go out and find food. You know, what I mean? Like, or you know, Like the other day, I was watching Our Planet. You know, the cheetah.
Yeah.
You know, left the kids so he can go hunt. Comes back. You know
Some species like birds, they'll leave for like months. Like penguins. Penguins will leave for like
they
months.
They got to go through a whole crazy process. You know,
and leave it up to the male.
Food. Yeah.
And I'm talking like months.
Yeah.
So it's like if a penguin can do it and come back, like Los, you can do it, man.
Unfortunately, we're so detached from nature and ourselves that.
You know how you watch movies and
nature never questions itself; it just goes with the flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From life to death. You know what I mean? Like, and everything in between that. And so, but yeah, like the humans, we're so detached.
No, we're so attached, right?
Either one, the way you look at it. So because we're so detached from ourselves that we rely on other people to make us happy. We rely on other people's situations in comparison. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, at the end of the day, it always came down to you. Animals don't go out there, you know what I mean? Like, hey, man, what do I do when I can't find grass? You know what I'm saying? Like, they just are fucking tuned in and they feel it and they just go and find it. You know, they'll fucking even go as far as feeling the moisture in the air, you know?
Yeah.
I mean? And finding water, you know? But yeah, nah, man, it's just, that's all by design, though. So, your brother, I know it. I can hear it in your tone. It's frustrating, but I too also have a sibling like that as well. And at one point I was always like that. We used to always drink at my cousin's house, and we end up fighting, bro. Like we get in fist fights. And I'm like, why don't you fucking do this shit? You know what I mean? Like I was at home and mom this and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how come you didn't fucking do this? Like I remember I moved out, right? I moved out when I was 18, but I was still the one to go home and mow the lawn.
Yeah.
And things like that for my parents. I remember I came home one day and the lawn was hella long and my brother was just chilling there watching TV. And I was working 2 jobs, you know what I mean? Like we had 1 car, so I was doing all the transportation. And like I worked graves, and so I couldn't go sleep because my parents were bugging me to mow the lawn,
Yeah.
And so I come home and he's just chilling, and I was like fucking yelling. I was like, "What the, this and that?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "I didn't know." I'm like, "What do you mean? No, look at the grass; it's long." You know what I mean? Like, just like yelling and stuff. So,
look at the grass.
But I was setting myself up to feel that way because of my expectations of how I felt like he should have been holding it down for the family. You know what I mean? But I realized, like I said, there's leaders, workers, and cleaners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all play a certain role in this reality in our lives that, it's almost ignorant for us to have expectations for other people's lives.
Yeah.
And how they do their thing,
Well, my brother freaking loves fucking Andrew Tate. And
who's Andrew Tate again?
The dude that popped off on IG that's just like, I don't know, he's not saying bad things about women. He's just, from what I've seen, I think when they ask him questions,
is he like a YouTuber?
Yeah, some of his opinions come off kind of strong, and the way he says it, but like it's not like way wrong. Some things he grew up in one way, so the way he sees things, that's just the way he sees it. But a lot of the things that he says about like men and how like men, we got it pretty rough, and that women get bailed out a lot, and just a lot of that stuff, it resonated with my brother a lot, right? Because he's always like, man, these fucking women don't want everything from you, and then as soon as you can't give it to them or they don't see your vision, they walk out, right? Because of all experience. But I mean, I look at Andrew Tate, and Andrew Tate has a brother, and him and his brother are like this, and they have like joint accounts, and they show videos of them like wrestling together, and
that's what they put out there, though, right?
That's what they put out there, right? And they say like, why Andrew Tate, like, what makes you kind of like the person that you are? Why are you so like confident in like the moves that you do? And he told the guy, he looked him straight in his eye, and he's like, I am the way I am because I know no matter what happens, I have Tristan, my brother. And I'm like, that's really cool, because he has it in his heart that no matter what happens, whether he goes broke or he fights somebody he wasn't supposed to fight, or he gets in trouble or whatever, he's always gonna have his brother that has his back, and it's like, I got you, bro. Like let's like we can move forward. You can talk to me about anything, and it's like, that's cool, because I feel like that resonates with me, because I would love to have that relationship with my brother where it's like, I'll pick you up, you pick me up, almost like a relationship, 50-50, and it's like, how cool is it that you can go on trips with your brother and be like, hey, let's go ziplining in Hawaii, let's go do this, let's go do that, let's go eat, let's go break bread, let's share ideas, how can we make our lives better? Like, I want that with my brother, but it's very hard because it's like, I can't really take him anywhere.
If you think about it on a side perspective, it's almost selfish of you to have those expectations of a relationship with your brother, though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, to me, I don't agree with Tate, because what if your brother's not around? What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Is that going to turn into like put him on a guilt trip? Is that one of these days? Are they even married or hooked up or anything like that? Those brothers?
I don't know. They don't really. I don't know. I don't look at it too much. I don't listen to a whole lot of his content, because I know if you listen to a lot of it, you can be kind of like led astray. You know, he says a lot of ridiculous things, and he's got like 10 women, and he talks about like loyalty, and he's like, you can't be loyal unless there's distraction, and you know, I don't know. Tristan doesn't talk too much. He's on a few podcasts, but it's mostly Andrew Tate that's like the face, and he's always talking about how much money he has, and like kind of like take life by the reins and make it happen, and be what a man should be. And
that's crazy. It's supposed to be like what a human, you know what I mean, should be, you know?
Right.
Because I know for a fact that like you cannot rely on anybody else for anything, and it sounds like to me that he's relying on his brother, putting a pretty big responsibility on his brother, you know, for I'm okay. No, it's like you're supposed to be okay because you know you're okay.
Yeah.
Without anybody's help or anything like that. Mm-hmm. The moment you start relying on people and all that stuff, you're setting yourself up for issues. You know what I'm saying?
For failure, huh?
Yeah, because now you're not the one who could pull yourself out of the hole. You have to wait around for somebody to put their hand down.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like nobody throws you a rope, you know, all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do when that rope doesn't ever get thrown down? Are you gonna learn how to climb, or are you gonna sit there and fucking dwell in your hole? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta learn how to climb.
Yeah, man, you gotta learn how to climb, bro. And the only way to do that is to do it on your own.
He'll send, my brother will send me a bunch of messages and stuff like that, and me and my brother already have a really close relationship, just because. You know, he's 11 years older, so he was kind of like my brother / father figure. Had to take care of me a lot. So we're pretty close, and it'd just be dope if he were to be a little bit where I'm at right now, to where he's able to like enjoy life a little bit more without stressing so much over like money, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that all comes internally. You get what I'm saying? It's regardless of materials. It's regardless of currency. It's regardless of a woman, right, that makes you feel that way. It's just all on your own, and he hasn't reached that level yet. Because think about it, like, I'm not making you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, your dog's not making you happy. You know, they can compliment it, but at the end of the day, you are the one who chooses to be happy, and whatever mind or intent behind that is just you. It's just coming from you and your true source self. Because you can rely on somebody to make you happy, like a relationship, but then the moment they don't, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the one that genuinely needs to be happy. You know what I mean? That's when you're really rich. That's the true definition of rich, is when you can find happiness outside of all materialistic things, the concept of money, the concept of time. Like, you're just happy. You're just going with the flow. And you know what's funny is, like, not to bring up religion and all that stuff, but they all have that saying where it's like trust. They put your trust into, you know, God's hands or fate. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what they're referring to, man, because once you know that it's all good, then it'll always be good. You know what I mean? Nothing can pierce through that good shield. You know what I mean? Because you know everything's happening for you. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it's true happiness, man. It's all from within, man. It's not even, because like you say, what is a shitty situation when it's happening for you? You know what I mean? And it's all just perception. And if, like, you know, using your brother as an example, if he can't see that, then he's just going to be stuck. You know what I mean? It's like life is very in comparison to Mario World. You don't pass the first level, you don't get past the first level. You stay on level 1. You know what I'm saying? And in between that level 1, there's all those weird challenges. Don't get, you know,
hit by a fireball,
killed. All that shit, which is like what financial shit that we get hit by. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. And then the levels get harder, man, until you find that princess. You know what I mean? The princess was, you know, just happiness and love. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of Bowsers on different levels. He's stuck on one of the Bowsers, bro.
He's just an angry fuck, huh, Bowser?
He's just stuck on that shit, bro. Like your brother's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always call it the game of life. I always call people players. Like, what's up, player? Because we're all players in the game of life, bro. It's the same shit. Even you die, you come back, bro. That's how real life shit is, bro. Reincarnation, all that stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I gotta start playing Mario Kart again. Or what, Mario World? I haven't played that. Fuck.
Yeah, Mario World. Any game that's like, you know, role play like that, you know. You go through the challenges and you pass levels, and then if you don't, what happens? You stay stuck on that level, man. That's life in general, man. And unfortunately, your brother's hit a really hard level that sometimes, man, you don't get to beat that level until you realize the true player behind it, you know. But only they can see that, you know.
Yeah.
And I can hear the frustration in your voice. You know, it's so easy because you see it right there in front of him, but you're like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck? But see, he doesn't have that outer perspective of that reality. You know, he just thinks, my kids. You know what I mean? Which, don't get me wrong, like, this goes back to what I said before. Like, people would hate me for saying that, but I call it, in growth, you got to disconnect to reconnect, because your goals of everything that your brother's wanting to do to help put him out of that position, unfortunately, you can't do that with a whole family on your back. That's just facts. You know what I'm saying? Because like we were saying with the relationship, you're donating energy towards your business. How many kids does he have?
He has 3.
3 kids. You get what I'm saying? So his energy's already split into like 4 different ways. You know what I'm saying? And so in order to get something going, you got to cut strings with like things that are going to hold you back. And it sounds shitty, but your family and kids could be one of them.
Yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it all too.
Exactly,
it's like
bro.
you just spread yourself too thin.
Exactly, man. So he's just stuck in that thought process where, you know, he's now sacrificing his own freedom and time, you know, to allow someone else's life to grow from, you know, which is okay, you know. That's what our parents did, but at the same time, you know, I know what you're going through, man. As a sibling and somebody, you know what he's capable of, and he's usually smart enough to pull himself out. He's stuck, bro.
My brother too. Like when I was younger, he's always helping me with like homework. He's very smart. Like when it comes to numbers, when it comes to just doing like, let's act right now. I'm more of like, I'll sit there and think, and then 15 minutes will go by, and I'm like, fuck, I just got to do something, and then I'll end up doing something. I wasted 15 minutes. But my brother's not like that. He's like,
he gets it.
He gets it. He thinks real quick. He has good ideas.
You know, it's funny.
And so that's why I kind of like look at him. He'll tell me this. He'll be like, he's like, every time something good's about to happen, it's like it always brings me right down. It's like the universe is against me for me to get money and stuff like that. And it's like,
the universe is never against
I
you.
know. And I'll look at him and I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't. Like he would tell me,
it's trying to point out things, but he doesn't see it.
He would tell me, I remember he'd be like, oh bro, can you just shoot me some money, and I'm getting this at the end of the year, bonus, whatever, but I want to get the girls or something now, or whatever, something will happen. Right. And in my mind, I'm like, why would you want to spend money without having it in hand yet? Like, what if what if they don't give that to you?
Completely blind.
What if they don't give that to you yet? What if something happens and they like, what if? And then sure enough, it'll happen. So my mom or myself will lend him some, and then he'll be like, bro, these fucking guys, they did this, and they didn't, you know, my start date didn't start till this time, so I won't get that extra bonus. So it's like, so see, you just went and spent money that you didn't really need to spend because you thought that money was coming in, and it didn't come in.
And it's never definitive, right? Once they tell you something, yeah, that's cool, but there's like, between the time you found out till when you're supposed to get it, that some shit could go wrong.
Exactly.
You know? Company could get slow out of nowhere, and then they have a big meeting. Hey, unfortunately, we're not getting your bonuses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I totally get it, man. It just sucks because, like, you know, we want to be that helping hand, but they don't even see that they're in a hole. That's the problem, man. They feel like they're just being a solid provider, and this is what they need to keep on doing. But nah, man, it's an illusion. They're stuck. And think about it, man. If he got what you were saying when you start throwing stuff out there, he would have already been able to pull himself out. You know? So just gotta let him live and learn. You know, unfortunately, that's just how it is. I have an older brother who's very similar. The way you described your brother is how mine is. He just gets it. Like, even in art, bro, my brother, he just throws a Sharpie in his hand, just fucking goes, man. Like,
really?
Like the doodle man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just goes. And then, same thing, he was always a smart one in school. I always struggled in school, you know what I mean? But, yeah, and then he's faced with the same...
Isn't that kind of weird? Like,
the older brother role. You know?
Well, like, I struggle with school. Like, I really struggle with math and numbers, and, like, I don't know. I just have, like, a little... I don't want to say I have a block, but I'm getting better, obviously, with my business and stuff like that. My brother's just able to do big math in his head, and like I say, he just gets it. Never struggled in school. It was easy for him. But one strong quality about myself, and I love about myself, is like I know. Just tell me what I have to do in order to get it done, and then I'll do that.
Yeah, see, that's people think I'm an amazing artist, but like, bro, I put so much time and effort. Like, I'll do research all day, all night. I'll even do an attempt, I'll fail, I'll do it again, I'll fail, I'll do it again, I'll fail, I'll keep going. Then finally I'm like, I finally, something broke, you know what I mean?
My brother's always calling me. I talk to my brother
he
6-7 times a day.
He feels the vibes.
Yeah, what's up, monkey boy?
What are you doing?
Do you hear this?
What?
Listen.
These are modern machines. He's like, you
Do you
got
hear
a
it?
vibrator in your butt.
Do you hear it?
I didn't hear it. No.
It's his tattoo gun. I'm getting inked right now.
Oh, are you for real?
Yeah.
Are you doing the Benjamin?
No, we're gonna do some fillers. We're gonna do some fillers in right now, and I got something else tatted on me. But the Benjamin one will have to wait for another day.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, just hanging out right now. What are you doing?
Nothing. Just driving home. I just got off work.
How was it?
It wasn't too bad.
It's
I
pretty.
got in at 4 and I'm leaving right now at 12:30. So.
That was a little bit of a longer day, or don't you get off kind of earlier?
Yeah, usually, but this week is gonna be on my check right by Christmas.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to see you, man, when you come down here.
All right, same. Have a good gym session. Then remember, we should go play ping pong and pool, and definitely hang out. Have way more time this trip than the baseball trip.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'll talk to Norma and see what kind of like Groupons and shit like that we can get for like bowling and shit like that.
Sounds good.
All right, cool,
All right,
brother.
love you.
Fun.
Have a good day.
Safe.
All right, bye.
Okay.
That's my broski.
Yeah, you guys have a really good relationship, man.
Yeah.
You know what? My brother and I are just barely starting to get to that.
Really?
Yeah, my brother and I, bro. Fuck, he's fucking. Dude, I tried killing my brother twice, bro. Like,
Really?
As a little psycho kid, yeah. Tried to like stab him with, I think, a knife and scissors, and he like pulled out a hatchet on me one time when we were drinking.
Jesus.
And like, yeah, I have this big old scar on my head because he pushed me into a glass table and it broke.
Yeah.
And we were just knuckleheads, bro.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was mostly like I was saying, just that more masculine energy growing up, and so yeah, my brother and I were always just like, shut the fuck up. No, you shut the what, bitch? You know, and then we started fighting. Yeah, it was just always knucklehead shit, bro. But
I think him being so much older than me is what saves us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of how, like, we used to wrestle around a lot, but when he came out of the Marines, it was hard to wrestle with him because he'd take too serious.
Yeah, he's like fighting for his life.
Fighting for his life, and I'm like, motherfucker, you didn't go to war. Like, what do you got PTSD for when you served 4 years in Hawaii? He served 4 years in Hawaii, man. And so we would wrestle, and then there's such a disadvantage because 11 years, he's like 200 something. He's like almost 6 foot, and I've always been like little. I've always been short, you know. So when we would wrestle, I've always been pretty strong and like can kind of handle my own for my level. But when I would wrestle him, he would like swing pretty hard and like not swing to punch, but
they're just extra physical.
Right. I remember
it comes off as aggressive.
Right. I remember wrestling with him, and he had me both hands, like his hands or like my hands, like my shirt, and he went over the top to elbow me, and luckily I saw it, so I flinched, and it caught a little bit of my chin, but I was like, dude, if I would have let that landed, you would have broke my nose. That was pretty hard. And he was just like, well, don't fuck with me. I was like, I thought we were messing around, you know. Like before he went to the Marines, we were able to mess around. He would like tackle me and like grab my leg and throw little jabs. When he came out of the Marines, it was like he was just more serious and more aggressive. So I kind of would stop fucking with him. And now even though he's bigger and he's a little chubbier and everything, and I weigh the way I am, like if we were to freaking wrestle and mess around, I would fucking get him. I don't think if I arm wrestled him, because he's got these big ass hands in his arms, like he's pretty stocky dude. He's just on the chubbier side now. But if we were to wrestle, even fist fight, I think I'd get him.
Oh, okay.
I think I would. I remember talking to my uncle, and I think we were drinking, and we said this.
So you guys never got to that point, huh?
No.
Yeah, see, my brother and I, we got to that point.
We never.
Yeah,
really? Straight rage?
Yeah,
no, never.
Well, I mean, when you grow up under like Polynesian culture, bro, like fighting is nothing, bro. Like, it's just part of your whatever, you know. So yeah, whenever something came up, we'd be like, oh yeah, bitch, you know what's up, and then we just like pop each other.
Really?
Yeah, but there's a couple times, like my brother's teeth were broken, you know, because I
holy cow, really damn, yeah. No, I couldn't. I remember my uncle. We were drinking. It was during Christmas, and he was. Me and my brother were wrestling around, and I kind of like. Got off, or I stopped, whatever, and my uncle walked in at the end, and he's like, "Oh, big brother, no matter how much the little brother barks, the big brother always wins." And I was like, "Nah, in this case," I feel like I'd hold my own. He's like, "Yeah, but the big brother's the big brother," and I just like remember looking at my uncle and looking at my brother, and I was like, not in this fucking family. The little brother might be the big brother in this family.
That's funny.
Because like I said, not only do I lift, but I boxed a couple times and I wrestle. I'm very comfortable on the ground. I don't panic.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'd be able to choke him out or do something to him before he'd be able to do it to me.
But I never. That's how I got to just fighting.
I never want to even get like that with my brother. It's all love with him, and like we get frustrated, and I wish, like I said, he would see things a little bit clearer or the way I would see it. But like I said, we're all different people. We grew up. He's 11 years. He had 11 years.
Even though it's under the same house, you guys are all different souls. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So me and him. He's like one of the few guys. Well, I'm not gonna say that because it's not true, but like I get emotional when it comes to my brother. Like I would break down and kind of cry if I fought with my brother because it's like I don't know why he has like that, not that control over me, but it's like
you guys are just heavily connected, bro. Like,
very, very connected.
To be honest with you too, like that conversation, it's not common for a lot of people and their siblings.
Well, so when I was like with Melissa or when he's with Norma, which is his girl, when they see us, they're like, I've never seen somebody like that connected to their brother, and that's what I was trying to help her with her mom and her brothers. I was like, you should try to make an effort. I said, she's like, my brothers aren't like that. And I was like, well, why don't you make the effort? And say, like, why don't you go in your room? I was like, because they live together, her and her brother. I was like, how funny would it be, Melissa? To me, it's funny. But what if you went in there and just tackled them and like beat them up? And she's like, what? And I was like, I'm not saying like kick them and hurt them, but like get him and like maybe nibble his ear, like jab him with them, like just play with them, and then leave, and then be like, that's what I thought, bitch. But now when you say that's what I thought, bitch, it's like under a teasing kind of like I'm your little sister or I'm the big sister. Actually,
bitch out here in Utah is fighting words, you know.
Yeah, right. But like me and my brother, I would tell my brother, I would mess around with my brother and be like, whatever, bitch. Like like mess because he knows when I say it, I'm like saying it as a brotherly love after we just got done kind of wrestling around.
Just funny shit.
I was like, you could create that, Melissa. Like if he's not going to do it, you got to be able to show that to him. Like, hey, I'm your big sister, and like we should be able to play like this if we want to get close. Like I want to ask you questions about your goals. Like it's kind of if they don't want to do it, it's up to you to kind of do it, and then you'll kind of show them like maybe when they're feeling kind of playful, they can go up to you and kind of like beat you up and like, hey, is everything going good in your life? It doesn't have to be a sit here and talk like me and my brother can talk. It can be like, just want to check on you, see how you're doing, and then walk out or bring a drink. Something like a little small act of service or like
just get it out there, right?
Just get it out there.
Because you never know, they might turn around and have this whole playful side that they've been holding in, you know.
Right. So that's how I am with my brother. Like,
but honestly though, if it's part of your persona, like they probably already been playing with each other a long time ago if it was already there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're just hearing your guys' conversation right there.
Yeah.
It's very rare, bro. It's
really?
very, very rare, yeah.
I've heard that by a lot, man. A lot of females who are around my life or around...
people who are tuned in to your conversations.
Well, yeah, around my brother, like Norma will say, like, you're very close with your brother. Like, you could see a brotherly love, but it's like a big father-to-son type thing, too, because... he took care of me for a while. You know?
Can hear the respect in the conversation.
Yeah, so we have a lot of good convos. A lot of them, we'll have a lot of convos where we just don't seem to sync. Where like my perspective and his perspective is way off, and then there's other conversations where they're right on. And then he's like, write it down, bro, write it down. And I'm like, all right, I'll go write it down. You know, or he'll tell me like, you need to like right now he's really big and he wants me to check my credit. And so every conversation, I'm like in my head, I'm waiting for this fucker to say it. And he's like, "Have you gone to the bank or checked your credit?" And I'm like, "No, like I'll check my credit when like it's on the back burner. Like, okay, I'm really like the houses are going down. I'm ready to make a move. Let's check my credit. I'm not gonna check it now when I have there's no like, I don't know." And he's like,
"There's no beneficial."
Right. I'm not out in the market for searching. I don't have a realtor. Like the wheels aren't in motion. So it's like, I'll don't worry, the credit will get checked, you know. But he's always like, see, you got to do these things, but you don't listen to me.
So, like what I was saying back then is like, so what if his goal isn't, or what if his purpose isn't to, build and start his own foundation at this lifetime? What if it's to help you? Because it sounds like you have a lot of his ways, like writing things down, you know. The little sayings that I'm tuned into, like those are 100% like accurate, you know what I mean? Like you get what you give, or what's the one that thing that you said that he said that I just mentioned earlier
about being too close to the picture.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy, bro. Like, to get to that level, to really understand and believe that, you know. But who knows? Maybe maybe it just sounds good to him. But whatever it is, like, the universe actually has ways of passing messages to you through other people, through experiences, through situations, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? But
no, he listens to, like I said, a ton of audio, especially about, like, housing and stuff. He's a pretty good salesman, and he was telling me, bro, I talked to Nick about selling, you know, with clients and getting clients. He actually gave me this idea, excuse me, and it's worked out pretty good. He's like, bro, if you're ever like nervous about a house or you're in between about bidding a house, just add $5. And I was like, okay. And he's like, because if you think about it, $5 accumulates. And I was like, yeah, I've heard that before. Nick tells me that all the time. Like, $5 is $5. It accumulates over a mass, right? So he's like, if you go up to a house and you're like, I'm on the board of, like, it could be like $30 or $35. He's like, just always add the $5 because you know that they're gonna ask you for extra things. You know they're gonna want this and that, and you know you do a good job. So the $5 is the $5. And if they try to hustle you, well, then you know that's what you would have charged anyway. Like, if I go up to a house and I know it's $30, I just charge $35. If they say, yeah, cool, I got the extra $5. If they say no, well, then it was $30 anyway. And they think the client thinks they got a deal.
So that goes under the Hegelian's dialect. Have you heard of that?
Say that again.
The Hegelian's dialect.
Hegelians?
Hegelians. It's creating the illusion of choice. You know what I mean? I present what I'm offering, and then I present worst case scenario. And guess what? Of course, they're going to go towards best case scenario. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You learn that in business. For sure, yeah. And it sucks because it can easily be misinterpreted as like manipulating. And, but
it's closing. It's closing.
And you know what your worth is. So if you're not doing it out of bad intent, but like as far as a business, like a business push is what I call it. You know what I mean? Because you're not lying.
No,
I'm not. What I mean? I know what's out there, and I know the experience that people get. You know. So
and like I said, dude, I would feel
it's a win-win.
I would feel awful if I like I'm not out here to rip anybody off. I want to do a good job. I want somebody to come up and take a picture and be like, this motherfucker did a good job. This did a little. And then that way, if I do mess up and forget a spot, they're gonna be like, oh, he just didn't see or he forgot because he comes to my house every week and does a really good job every time. Like, and I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, some people might see that, right?
Might see what?
That, you know, be forgiven to like miss something in their house. You know what I mean? But some people are like, hey, well, I'm canceling our service.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm human, and it's like, okay, go ahead and cancel, and then you're gonna go out there and realize that I'm charging you a pretty good price, and I do a really good job, and someone's gonna charge you even more money, and which you don't want, and they're gonna do either a worse job, or you're paying out the ass for it. You know?
Exactly, man. That's knowing your worth. You know, so you are able to create those illusions of sales and deals. You know.
Yeah.
Even the malls use them, bro. Like kiosks. I tattooed this dude who's working a kiosk part time during the holidays.
Yeah.
And he said the same thing. Yeah, 20% off, but guess what? All those tags, they actually go up an extra like $5-10. And so really, you're just creating the illusion of a sale.
But
you're like, oh wow, I'm getting 20% off.
Yeah.
It's not 50 anymore. It's now like 30, but really it was marked to 30 from the get.
Yeah.
It just got you to push you. I call those like, what do they call it? A business push,
Yeah. So he gave me those ideas, and it's worked, man. It's definitely worked. I go to all my clients, and I always, bid that way, and it's helped me. So I like that. So yeah, we bounce off a lot of ideas. I tell him a lot about health. Like when I was learning to be a personal trainer, like they say, I think from the public eye or for people who've heard it, they're like, salt's so bad for you. Salt. And my brother cramps a lot on his calves and stuff. And I've actually, with my buddy, we lift a lot. We follow this guy. He talks about salt, and he's like, salt actually helps the muscle function properly. And the human should be consuming like a teaspoon of salt with water. And yeah, it's gross, but it's actually like helps you with water. It helps retain water. Helps the muscle function. And I tried it because I would get cramps on the bottom of my feet. Only my feet. Like I'd be watching TV and my feet would just start cramping.
Yeah, your toes
like, oh damn!
Throwing up signs.
Yeah, throwing up gang signs. Oh, sorry. So I started doing that, and I don't have cramps anymore.
Yeah,
I'm like,
true, man.
damn! Like that really does help. If you do like a whole 1 or 2 weeks solid of just being on the salt and drinking it, and you eat just throughout the day, whatever. You just drink a teaspoon of salt with the water. You actually look better, man. Like your muscles pop, everything. So I tell my brother, bro, he cramps so much in his calves. So I was like, I think you should, you got to be drinking a gallon of water, drink it every 2 hours. Don't just kill water because then you're going to piss it all out. You're pissing out all the nutrients. Your body needs to retain that water. If you're pissing it right out, that means you're drinking it too frequently.
Yeah.
So I was telling him and giving him my advice, and to this day, I don't think he's tried it once.
Yeah.
So it's like he gives a lot of ideas, and he's really good at giving, but he doesn't take it. He doesn't do it.
These messages aren't for him. Otherwise, he'd be following them. It's for you. And as far as the health goes, you just gotta relate everything back to nature, bro. Like, we're drinking water that's been filtered. Whether it's a conspiracy or not, but like they have to clean it, right? And so those chemicals are coming into us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're like tracing it back to like like even baldness. It's from like water in our atmosphere, because it's just we're living in such an unnatural, reality that like our bodies are affected by it. We're supposed to be more tuned into nature, like. There's the sun, the ocean, right? So like salt obviously is going to be beneficial. Like back in the day when like Polynesians, they do their for the tattoos, like when the ocean was pretty clean and all that stuff, you go in there for aftercare, you know what I mean? Because of the salt, like, it helps you speed up the healing process. But yeah, just as far as health goes, man, like you should always just go take it right back to nature, man, because that's what we were intended to do. It's what we were intended to eat, and live like, you know what I mean? Like, my parents always said something when I was younger, there's no such thing as fast food. And if you think about it, there isn't. Like, you grow it, you know what I mean? You pull it, you clean it, you cut it up, and you eat it and digest it, whatever, you know what I mean? Even if you're like meat, it was never a thing where you can, like, buy it from the store, you know what I'm saying? You'd have to, like, hunt it, clean it, you know what I mean? And just, like, it's supposed to go from nature straight to your palate. But nowadays, it's like, it's a proven fact, like, your bread's already 3 months old before it even goes to your house.
Damn.
Milk, too, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure that shit don't even expire anymore.
Yeah,
you know
it's like
I mean?
McDonald's food now, huh?
Yeah, see, my parents always said that, because they're from another country, though, because they're used to, like, pulling it from the ground and then going straight into their bodies, but nowadays it's like pulled from and harvested, chemicals, this and that,
transported,
and they like gas it so that it doesn't age, and then it gets shipped over here, and then like that's so bad for us, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, I completely believe the whole salt thing, man. It's just we're programmed to believe other shit, Health is wealth, man.
It's funny because my brother, another thing that kind of like makes me go back and like make my head go back, or like a light bulb, I'm like, fuck, like I gotta slow down maybe a little bit. I don't know, you've changed a lot of my perspective in this conversation. So we were I got my flight, my brother like, you get your flight already? And I was like, yeah. In my head though, like I have my business here, right? And if I leave, I pay my helper more money to run my truck, that way he's happy and I still make money, right? But if I'm paying him more money, then that's less money for me, right?
Yeah, you're cutting your costs.
So,
residuals.
Yeah, I'm out there. I'm down there. I'm going to be down there for 2 weeks. And I wanted to originally go down there for like maybe a week and a half is good for me, And the flights and everything was just way expensive. And the best flight I can get was going down there I got like a round trip for $177. But I was going to be there for 2 weeks. So I was like, all right, that's fine. Like I spend Christmas and New Year's. And it gives me some time to Christmas shop. And, but my mind was like, I don't want to spend 2 weeks, because what if it snows like a crap ton and I'm like losing out on a bunch of money? But when I told my brother, I was like, yeah, man, I got the ticket. I'm gonna be there a little bit longer than I expected. And he's like, well, how long? And I was like, oh, I'll be out there for 2 weeks. He's like, oh, hell yeah. he's like 2 weeks, bro. You get to be here for Christmas and New Year's. He was like excited, and then that made me think, yeah, man, I'm gonna be there for 2 weeks. It's gonna be freaking dope. Because then it made me think, dude, I'm making money and I'm out on vacation. Like, I feel like I'm too hard on myself sometimes. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pay him a little bit more, but he deserves it. He's working. He's working out here.
Cost, yeah.
It comes with the cost. He's working.
Freedom always comes with a cost.
It's not like I got only a few clients. I got like 20 something. So he'll be out here working, slaving, while I'm out in Arizona in not so bad weather, hanging out.
And you still make a little something.
And I still make a little something. So that was like a pretty cool moment with my brother.
One thing I remind people too is when you're self-employed, freedom is part of the payment, and people forget that. You know
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Part of the payment, huh?
Yep. It's never about money, man. I always tell people it's harder to invest into yourself. It's a lot more work to invest into yourself. It's more work. It's more time you're donating, more energy. You know what I mean? It's more time away from your family too, when you're self-employed.
Yeah.
Because you're not relying on a system. You're actually creating one, And, that always comes with a cost. But The good thing though is that everything you're donating energy and efforts towards, you know what I mean, it's all for yourself and for your goals and your plans and your dreams. You know, you're no longer, you're slowly disconnecting from the system. And that's I think that's every American's dream, right, is to work less and make more, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool, man. I think you're on a really good path.
Thank you.
Just enjoy it more and chill out. Try not to have expectations for your members, you know, your family members and your tribe.
Yeah.
Because they're on their own thing. They serve a purpose in you as you do with them, but we can't judge on how they are and their actions and where it's supposedly leaving them in life, you know, because we look at that as success, but what if his goal is to actually just be a good brother and father to you, you know what I mean? And who's to say that that's not success? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everyone's got different goals and endpoints they want to meet. Maybe he's actually fulfilling his.
Yeah.
Because we can say all day, oh, you could be, you know, at this position as a, you know, business owner, this and that. But what if he just plays a certain role in his daughter's life and yours? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if he accomplishes that, who's to say that's not successful?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because it doesn't come with the Ferrari and finances, it doesn't mean it's.
No, you're right.
Yeah, you know. Back to like the workers, you know, there's leaders, workers, and cleaners. When I say that, I don't mean that they're less important than the other. If you think about it, we need those three to have a full functioning business. You know what I'm saying? I can tell people what to do all day, but if there's no one working under me, you know what I'm saying? Workers, you know what I mean, can keep working, but if there's no one there to like keep clean and pick up and set up and all that shit,
you become that. Yeah. You have to become that, or it messes everything.
Yeah.
There's just people. I get what you're saying. There's just
everybody
categories that people fall under,
and they're not less important than
right.
ones. You know what I mean? They play their role in this, and then we're under the illusion that it's less because we think, oh, it doesn't come with like, you know, money, like this shit like that. But like, what if it truly makes him happy? You know what I mean? To be there for his girls and then to pass information down to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because he's obviously not following his own word. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, these messages are for you. He's playing that part. Same with mom and dad, or mom, you know, like I can talk about how my parents lived their life wrong, their whole, you know, from whatever, you know, from child to now, you know what I mean? Yeah. But at the end of the day, my parents served a great value in my life from showing me their work ethic. That, you know, I seen my dad, whatever he put his mind to, he accomplished, you know. This guy spoke zero English when he came to America, you know, or just very little, you know. Yeah. And became a leader out here, you know, started a community, like became a boss at his job, you know what I'm saying? So, like, who's to say that I can say like, oh, you know, he's not successful because, you know what I mean, he's not, you didn't travel.
But he in his life, in his eyes, he accomplished a lot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Especially being the first generation out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mom's one of them too, you know what I mean? They came out here and they made the most of it, you know? Fortunately, you know, I mean, it all came with the cost of freedom, but that's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even you too, me too. I'm detached from the system in a way, but I'm still a slave to my goals and you know, retiring when I'm 40. Yeah. Because there's some generations under us that'll say the same thing we're saying about our parents. Why are you working so hard? We can just chill out and do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of funny. It's all perception. But at the end of the day, you know, we can never say anything about anybody else's lives in reality. That's just what they're going through, and sometimes they get over those challenges, sometimes they don't. You're both right, though. He could be in a better position if he played his cards a little differently. But at the same time, you know, that's not for us to say. He has to learn and figure that out on his own. As we all did, right? His past relationship, you know. I'm sure there were some things that he had in his mind that was like, oh, bro, this and that with your relationship, this and that. But you had to see it for yourself in order to take the learning aspect out of it. Relationship's actually a good comparison to that, right? We always have that side view and third party view, right?
Well, it's funny because one thing that you, in this whole conversation, we talked a lot about expectation. It's like you kind of gave me some humble pie because I have like this expectation on my brother, and like I was just talking about Melissa and my relationship, how she had so much expectation of me, and then it failed.
The mirror, remember?
And it's like, I have all this not this expectation, but I'm telling my brother like, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be doing. And then when he doesn't do it, it's like I kind of like shake my head and stuff like that. And that's where I see like he's not accomplishing that, and then I guess that goes under the categories of expectations.
Yes, exactly. Expectations in reality, bro, always lead to failure majority of the time, because you're setting yourself up for a standard that's not even there yet. Like you said with the money thing, like, oh, you know, your mom could spend money this way, and that, or what did you say about your brother? He wanted to borrow money, but then like he said, no, don't worry, I'm getting money at the end of the month or something.
Yeah,
and then it never happened, right?
Like,
it happened, that's what expectations are. You know what I mean? It's like you set yourself up for a standard, and then next thing you know, you realize that it's never guaranteed. You know, things can just, you know, swerve your path. You know what I mean, to a different direction, and then you don't get the results you want. And then instead of going with the flow, he would have thought, oh, that's cool, this is where I'm supposed to be at. Then you're like, damn it, this didn't happen. You know, he's not where he should be at. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, some of the lessons I've learned, you know, I had those same exact expectations, even just through personality, right? Like even with relationships, you know, like not even just goals, you know, as far as business goes, but just expecting people to understand us. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, we already know that that's not accurate. Like people just, they either know or they don't. And some of them grow towards that direction of knowing, and then some people just don't. You know, but that's okay. Those are the challenges they were meant to go through. And at one point, I used to try and like, oh, what the, you know what I mean? Like, you should know this, you know, like, but yeah, at the end of the day, nah, I just have to be grateful that I was granted this knowledge and wisdom. And I don't call it teaching anymore, man. I call it planting seeds, because teaching is a, you know, minor form of control, because now you're like trying to tell somebody that you know it all, but really you don't, you know, you just
you don't call it teaching, you call it what?
Planting seeds.
Planting seeds.
Because, you know, like your brother, you can tell him what's, you know, definitive or not, but at the end of the day, he's got to water that knowledge and wisdom like a seed in order for it to grow. And, you know, as of now, he's just not. And that's okay. Yeah, expectations though, man. Because if you think about it, if you start applying that into where you're at in your business now, and then you run into these little roadblocks, bro, you take it. You're really hard on yourself when it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of like looking at it as a, oh wait, we tried that, it was actually a speed bump, let's go this way now. You know. But you know, if you put your expectations up, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Why didn't it work? You know, like, what the fuck? You know. Yeah, and then it ends up
making
fucking
bigger
your emotions.
making it a bigger problem than it is, huh?
Yeah, because you just created that, you know. When really you should just be like, oh, go with the flow. This wasn't meant to be. Next door. But every time something happens, like a roadblock or a wall, it always opens up another door or path, you know. Just, the hard part is seeing it. Sometimes we don't see it because it's happening to us at that point.
One thing I was talking about my brother about is like, well, we talk about sacrifice, right? And I was like, I know in my life right now, like, that I need to focus on my business. And when you're focusing on your business, it doesn't give me like, not the opportunity, but I never really like going out to clubbing, and that's like not my personality. And that's where I mean, and I told my brother, like, through his experiences, I was like, a girl will come into my life when it's time, like, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, I think
when you're either aligned or, you know what I mean?
And I think I'm not there yet, so I'm gonna focus on my business, because that makes me happy, and it's growth, and it's like my baby. I want to grow it and be good at it.
And you know what? You got to be selfish if that's what you're focusing on, because that goal doesn't involve having a partner with you. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you already had built a goal and a foundation already by yourself, and so when you start inviting somebody else into that, you got to go through the adjustments of slowly working somebody into those goals again, because you already planned it without them. Thanks for tuning in again. The last 20 minutes I just cut off because he just, you know, was just talking about his how he just recently got a dog, and trying to post more content that'll help benefit you through your guys' adventures. So it wasn't really necessary to hear the other 20 minutes, so I ended up cutting it off. But thanks for tuning in again. I'll see you on the next video.